Hello and welcome to the Fandom Zone. And tonight we could
What are
not get
we listening? Oh, that was me playing something. Sorry.
Jesus Christ. Tonight we could not get the crystals right, and we had some issues with tech, which is new to the channel. I know, you know, I'm always getting everything right, so it really shocked me that I did not have this down right away. But here we are. Anyways, let me go down the line here. We should have some more people coming in here in a second, but let's start with Mr. Lonely. Tell him about yourself.
Well, I would like to see some people in the chat. Now, I'm LB. You know, I'm from the Lonely Banter, which is a lonely destination in Lonely Bay, where I talk to a camera and hang out with General Zod at nighttime. Such a lonely life.
Uh,
So that's
Yeah,
all.
and
Sounds about right.
everyone's probably on my other link.
Oh my gosh, can you delete it? Delete the
I
tweets.
did. I deleted the link, but I did not delete the tweets because my computer sucks.
Oh God.
Yeah. So
Life.
sometimes in life.
Okay, Terrence. No, I gotta
Yeah.
find the frickin' thing that I tweeted out because yeah, obviously I tweeted the wrong link too. So I tweeted the earlier one as well. So we're
Life.
sitting here
So what?
sending people to a dead live stream. Yeah, I'm PB. I'm the commander of the fandom zone, second in command, sometimes first in command when somebody gets drunk. Shit. You can find me at Pop Culture PB on YouTube and on Twitter. Talk about pop culture, Star Wars, Marvel, sometimes Aquaman. Hilarious. But tonight we're talking about all kinds of crazy shit. You can see the title.
Yeah, we got
You'll
some
get the gist of it.
very good stuff.
Right now, I'm scrolling through Twitter to find these dead frickin' links. Okay, clicking on myself because that's taking way too long.
Because that.
Good times. You can't just leave dead air. And then you don't rebuttal
It's a
me.
course
Come
correct.
on.
Oh my goodness.
What was that?
Okay, so tonight's topics that we are talking about the earthquake in LA because it seems like something that should be talked about.
There
We
was an
also
earthquake.
have an huh?
There was an earthquake.
Yeah,
Oh,
man, it's
gee,
been on
you
the
didn't hear about this earthquake in LALB?
No,
Oh, man. Go to Twitter,
no.
click
I'm just
on the
playing.
trending tab.
I'm just playing. I heard about it.
Oh, I was like, what
You
the hell? How
gotta
could you have not heard about this earthquake? They were trying to take Terrence from us,
Can't stop that.
which which I thought was pretty funny that literally, I don't remember if we were still on the stream or if we were off the stream when we were all talking about like natural disasters and everything. And I was talking about blizzards, you were talking about hurricanes, and he's talking about earthquakes. He's like, oh, yeah, earthquakes, they're fine. They're not a big deal. It just rattles some stuff. And I was like, you're fucking crazy.
yeah, earthquakes like sink your whole entire fucking city. Like,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
as far as I understand it, other than like the literal buildings that it knocks down, the biggest problems that you get with earthquakes, at least in the city, is it's going to create sinkholes because it's going to break a bunch of water pipes underground, and you're not going to know that they're broken. And then it's going to erode the sand or dirt or clay or gravel or whatever they have underneath this road or that road. And then the one random car comes along and it breaks through and boom, it disappears. And there goes the Chinaman.
That's that's very funny that you made the driver of the fiction that we created a Chinaman. I'm feeling some racist undertones there.
What?
I feel like you're really keeping with that racist Jedi stereotype that we have created for you.
I
Racist
would
Jedi.
no. I would never be racist against the Chinese. They have a bunch of our debt.
So yeah, we got those earthquakes going on, right? And Terrence, I've sent you an email, buddy.
Oh
Keep fighting
God.
those phantoms.
I mean,
Okay,
I'm
we'll
not
get
looking
you.
at the YouTube chat. So anybody that thinks that I'm looking at the YouTube chat at the moment, I'm not. I'm looking at Twitter, so I can't respond to any of the messages at the moment because I'm going to share this tweet via direct message to the group so that hopefully General Zod can screen share it because it's from US News and it says Southern California rocked by second powerful earthquake in 2 days.
And super chat from the Senate. Hashtag Zod sucks. Thank you, said it. I love how you keep it in perspective, buddy. And good to have you. I did see your thing saying first, and you were in here first. So kudos to the Senate. I like how he gets here on time, unlike the people hosting it. So gotta give him props. Dedicated to making sure that I know I suck each and every night. So, and you gotta be balanced because it keeps me humble. You know,
That is
anytime I
true.
get
We don't need a supervillain getting out of control with his ego a la Chris Knight.
we calling him a supervillain now, baby.
No, just his ego is a supervillain, not Chris Knight.
All right, so I got this, and I'm gonna screen share it, but my thing is slow as shit, so I'm
It'll
just kind
take a moment.
of
It'll
waiting.
pop up eventually. Shit happens from
Three
time to time.
hours later.
It'll come up on the
Right.
screen. I mean, I just sent you like the general one that has all of the other headlines below it, so we can, pick and choose which particular persons we want to go on. It's like, do you want to go to Associated Press? Do you want to go to CNN? Do you want to go to LA Times? You can pick whichever one you want. Essentially, that's the link that I sent you. But, after, screen share. Here we go. I see Zod's face on a screen share. That means we're getting close.
Yep. So
It's got a telescope into nowhere.
as you guys can see here, we have the feed right here. Southern California gets rocked by its second powerful earthquake. So you guys are twice lucky. And I think it's best to get a little clip here and there. So let's kind of just patch it together because I don't like any of these publications. But it says that a preliminary 6.9 magnitude earthquake struck Southern California on Friday night, topping a quake that hit the region just 1 day earlier. One
Yep.
day earlier.
And
Dude,
I mean,
why do you people still live here?
because apparently the weather is just so nice.
I mean, look at this shit. Yeah, you just got to worry about sinking into the ground. So look here, the Los Angeles Times right here. Expected continued aftershocks in the wake of Thursday, the 4th of July tremor, which registered as a 6.4 magnitude. Now, this was the one that hit the day before, right? 6.4. The one after hit a 6.9. Now, look at this shit right here. You see all that? I'm not by any means an expert, but that doesn't look good. That looks like shit I don't want to be caught at. They got the little breakdown and the little graph here. Why the hell do Californians still live here?
Oh yeah,
So
because the weather's nice. That's the only freaking reason.
so
Like my
LB,
sister lives down in San Diego, like a maniac.
LB, you get what, hurricanes down your way or floods or whatever? You were getting ice cream.
What's up?
Oh, he dropped
Good
some.
for that ice cream.
What's up?
We just asked you that you only get like hurricanes and what some. Do you get any kind of flooding down your way at all?
No, we only get hurricane.
Oh, hello, Mary.
Oh,
I just came on to say hi.
howdy.
What did you?
Hey, Mary, we're screen sharing about we're talking about the earthquake that happened
I know you are.
and how
I
people in
was listening.
California are crazy for living there.
I know you are, and I was listening. And look, here's what I'm going to say about it. I know why we had the earthquake, and it's because Kester sacrificed a goat. Look, Proper Jeremy and Jesse Milestone are out of the area right now, and we felt like this was the time, and this was the way to go ahead and clear out all the crazies. So Kester sacrificed a goat, and we prayed to the heathen gods, and that's why this all went down. And so, guys, look, this is it. This is going down in California. If you live in California, it's time to get out because we're about to sacrifice the second goat, and this is really your last one.
this, this is the greatest explanation, and this explains everything.
Oh shit! Now I need to call my sister. She's in San Diego.
Just letting you know, man, get her out because we've got another goat and we're getting ready to do this.
Fuck.
LB, are you worried about sacrificing goats, or are you good over there?
Goats are pointless, so go ahead.
So yeah. So this is the whole thing. This shit is crazy. Who still lives here besides those crazy people that we know, and why? I'm looking at this map, and okay, hold on. Let me go back to screen share time here. So we're looking at this, and they're trying to say, oh well, I mean, it wasn't as bad. Hold on. It wasn't as bad because these are the little like tremors. Oh, damn you, computer. These are the little tremors right here, right? This is where it hit. Outlining here, they call that the aftershock. So after you get hit with the earthquake and
All
the
I see is a
initial,
white screen.
oh my god, we're all gonna die.
All I see is a white screen.
How do you not? How do you not see what I'm showing? Because I'm screen sharing.
Oh, there it is. Now it popped up.
See?
It just needed a moment to load.
Okay.
I see it now.
So this right here, this red dot with all of this is like where it hit and stretching outward. Right here is the aftershock, right? So from my understanding is you get hit with the earthquake, you're like, oh my god, we're all gonna die. No, wait a second. Okay, my shit just broke. I lost some china. Okay, we're good. And then this shit right here is the aftershock. So after the earthquake hit, then you get the aftershock. But it gets better, folks, because this was only July 4th. They got hit with a second earthquake stronger than the first one because the first earthquake was a sign, and the aftershocks are going to carry on after that. So they got hit by a 6.4, which was like, holy shit. And then they got hit by a 6.9, and we're not even counting the aftershocks, which will fuck stuff up
I
too.
told you, we're sacrificing goats. Get out now with your families while you can. We're burning it down, okay? California is no place to be right now. And if you value your lives, leave California. We've got a goat on deck. We've got some chickens, okay? Like we're gonna turn this into a whole like heathen rigmarole, okay? I got a bonfire going right now.
What's shaking?
What a way to enter the thing.
Sorry if I made you tremble.
No, you did not. At least not me. You get any earthquakes in Norway, Stig?
No, we just get the wind. Woo.
Oh my god.
Woo! All right. Well, that was
The
all I had
wind.
to add. I just
So
wanted to let you guys know. I'm gonna go. I have a goat to burn.
Oh,
Thank you
fuck.
for coming.
So,
Okay.
hey, LB, by the way. Nice
Well,
to see
good luck
What's that?
you. Nice to see you, LB.
to have you on, Mary. Good luck with your goat sacrifice.
Thanks. I'm really looking forward to it. We're gonna drink the blood here in just a minute. So, all right, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, Bloody Mary.
Bye.
Bye, Bloody Mary.
So, we're back here on the channel. We are talking about the earthquake in LA, and yeah, for anyone in the chat, I'm not making light of the fact that there's probably going to be some destruction and damage. People lost houses and stuff, and that's terrible. But at the same time, this is like the theory of people who live in these places where these like natural disasters happen. And one question comes to my mind: why? Why do you still live there?
Well, it's like
And there's liberals and there's crazy people.
it's like living in the trailer park in Oklahoma. You know you're gonna get destroyed by a tornado. There's nothing you can do about
And
it.
then you get the redneck, well, my grandpappy started this farm 14 years ago. I'll be damned if that son of a bitch in tornado's gonna take me off my property. Fuck that.
Well, that's a new spin on it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that really blows.
It's a trap, but because I'm poor. It's a trap, buddy. If there's anything that I want saved, it's you and your channel because you bring great content. So get the hell out, man. Shit's going down. You got hit by a 6.4 and then a 6.9. We have Moira in the chat. Hey, Moira. Fuck y'all. I'm from Oklahoma, but it's true.
Oh, they get hit with some crazy weather there, but no earthquakes in Oklahoma. And I'm just reading down some of the tweets that are in this thread, and whoever David Begnod, he has, I don't know how you pronounce it. He's got the blue check mark, so he's verified. Lucky him. He says, according to the U.S. Geological Survey, the 7.1/6.9, because they can't decide on what size earthquake it was considered the actual quake. What happened on July 4th is considered to be just a foreshock, because apparently you can have an earthquake before the earthquake.
What? What? Why? That still boggles my mind. Why are you still there?
I don't know. The only thing I can come back to is because they're all, I don't know, they're weird farmers who don't want to put their cows into the cold weather of Wisconsin, so they want to have their happy cows in California. Those are the dumbest commercials I've ever seen. Happy cows live in California, and your cheese will taste better if it's made from happy cows. Fuck off.
folks, for Wisconsinites, the cheese thing it's a sensitive subject. That's the whole beef, pun intended. With this whole thing, I mean, they take their cheese very personally. PB, would you be broken up if you found out that it all just went down?
I've been waiting for years and years for the majority of California to fall into the ocean. So no.
That would be a hell of a soy pollution, though.
Yes. I mean, everybody who is left in like Oregon and Washington and, you know, some of the weirdos in New York and stuff like that, they would be upset because of all the pollution that fell into the ocean. I'd be like, yeah, you got all those soy boys and soy girls that fell into the ocean. That's terrible.
Yeah, we can just say we can just say sayonara to those people.
Yep, let them float all the way back to Japan.
Yeah, to Japan
Oh,
sexual.
all right. I like Japan. Let's leave Japan out of this. I don't have a problem with them, and I don't want them to get soy poisoning.
No, they won't get the soy poisoning. Once they show up there, they'll be able to deal with them because they don't have to deal with the PC bullshit.
Yep, I gotta say, the Asian countries, man, they smack that shit down. They don't.
Yep.
They don't like any of those politics in their little corner of the world, so to speak. So
Jermaine Terrence is asking you to call him on Google Hangouts to add him.
But Terrence, every single night, bro. Every single night.
Yeah, he won't.
Like, come on, man.
Get a Twitter.
He wants you humans to do something.
We ain't doing nothing. You can send the email. Figure it out.
Email, man. I don't know what
Right,
I don't know what to do
You
here.
can send the email. You figure the rest out.
You know what'll solve it? Get a Twitter.
Or learn how to check your email.
It's one of the two. Like, it's there. The link is there. Because I know if he copied the link that both, or I shouldn't say both, that all three of us, as in me, Stig, and LB, all clicked on, we all got here with the click of literally one button. And here we are. So figure it out. I believe in you. Fight off those phantoms, and then you will arrive.
I don't believe in
Do it for the children.
Apparently, speaking of children, you know, that's a half segue. The LA Times reported an hour ago there's still 2,000 residents in Ridgecrest that don't have power. Like, if this is how do you lose so much power if it's an earthquake? Like, shouldn't all that shit shake together?
They have no power because they voted Democrat.
That is true. They took all their power away. You lose all your power when you put those people into office. They're like, hey, you can take care of my life, right? I don't need any power if you can take care of my life.
I just want people to feed me soy. That's all I want. Just
That's right. Beans and oil.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdos.
Being there, done that.
I mean,
So,
have any of you ever been in an earthquake? I've never been in an earthquake before, at least not that I know of.
Nope.
We've had a few, because you know, seismic activity in the Atlantic, but just small little tremors, really.
Really? Like, we're talking like 1.0s, 2.0s, something like that?
I don't know.
Interesting.
Just shook a bit.
I mean, I don't even know where the closest, I'm guessing the closest fault line to Wisconsin is the one that we're talking about right now over in Los Angeles or California or whatever. Because I don't know where the closest fault line is in the Atlantic. I assume it's the crest that runs down the middle of the Atlantic.
Yeah, could be.
and welcome, Brian, to the chat. You're brand new here
to the
channel.
Fandom Zone.
Yeah,
Yes, welcome.
Brian is a good fellow. He's usually on Moira's channel.
Nice.
Welcome, Brian. Welcome, Moya. We have uh, Jamie Vick. Welcome. She's following Lonely because she doesn't want Lonely to be lonely. So,
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie, what's up? You I ain't in the chat yet. Let me come to the chat and say hi.
Jamie Vick's in the chat.
Yeah.
yep.
Nice.
I'm
Get
coming to say
Hebrew
hi.
National, the hot dog of champions.
And everyone sub to Moira's channel. It's a good one.
I did a while ago.
Everybody, make sure you show Moira love. I actually checked out her stream. She had Rosetta, who's also in the chat on there. So, go make sure you show them love because here on the channel, we show
You're in the
everybody
fandom zone.
the
Yeah.
fandom zone. Thank you, Commander. I forgot you're in the other room. You could just smack me upside the head.
I will come over there and smack you. Your child, I'm pretty sure, went to bed, so she won't see me abusing her father.
You two really like you two really like to talk smack, don't you?
All the time, Stig. All the time.
Mm.
So, Mega Jetty says, tell everyone that I'm in Saccharin, PA, and yet I felt the aftershock of a earthquake from Florida years ago. I thought it was a semi driving by my house. Boy, was I shocked.
Wait, he's in Pennsylvania and he felt an aftershock from Florida?
4 years later,
Yeah.
that was a slow earthquake.
Whoa.
Yeah, so I mean, this does have rippling effects. We don't know the neighbors that get hit. You figure if something like a 6.9 or, a soft 7, we'll call it, is hitting somewhere, right? You got to figure that other places around the area are feeling the aftershocks because we saw the map I brought up with those the little brownish blimps were all aftershocks. So that whole area where they touched it spreads out. So it's got to be hitting neighbors, or at least neighbors will feel it if they're in a close proximity. So who's ever neighboring them? I don't know. I'm not very good in geography.
No
So,
shit. You took a geography class by Michael K.
No, here in the fandom zone, we don't need geography. You just walk places and, you're there. If I got to go see my other generals, I could just walk on over, fight
You know
some
what?
phantoms.
You know what's good about geography classes?
But
No.
They're all mapped out before it even starts.
Oh my god. This guy, I tell you.
So, yeah, LB,
What up?
let me ask you a question. Would you rather go through an earthquake or a hurricane?
Earthquake.
Really?
Hurricanes are worse. Depending on the category.
So,
Right, I was gonna say, are you saying equivalence, a category 1 hurricane would be equivalent to a 1 or 2 magnitude earthquake, or are we talking category 5 hurricane would be like a 9.0 or a 10.0 earthquake?
I mean,
What
honestly,
category are you talking?
I'd probably say I'd rather deal with a hurricane because, knock on wood, I'm too far in the state to where the hurricane will have big time damage.
Okay.
I'm right in the middle of Florida. So we usually get the outskirts of the range. There's only been a couple of hurricanes since I've lived here that has actually had the eye travel through Orlando. And even then, my power was out for a few days, which was the worst, but I'm still here.
that's true. And now here's the thing, though, with
Right,
earthquake.
but it did fuck up your internet.
Hey, I I just had to live without anything for a few days and just be lonely.
You know, you know, you know what's kind of cool about where I am though. Uh, we get hurricanes quite often during the winter season, but the building I live in is one of the few buildings left standing from before World War II, and the apartment I'm living in was just one room uh, un, until like 10 or 20 years ago, and it's on a different electrical grid because it was supposed to serve as a bomb shelter, and
Oh,
so yeah, so the fire station and my apartment don't lose power when the rest of the power goes out in the city, which was
that's
quite
awesome.
yeah, which was quite fun the last time we had a hurricane because the power got knocked out, and I was like looking out the window in my guest room. I was there, drinking hot coffee, and I had, power. I looked outside and I saw people huddling around in the dark trying to get home. I did feel a bit guilty. I was just, yeah, it's warm here, you know. TV is on, and Miss Sarcastic
TV's
Nerd
on. I'm on.
Miss
Go ahead.
Sarcastic Nerd is in the chat, and she's an excellent person with tremendous Cards Against Humanity playing skills.
Yeah, she said that I talked her into coming here earlier.
Oh, I didn't know you had charisma.
She asked who was awake, and I said we are, and she said she didn't want to bitch, and I said, well, then just come watch.
I mean, she could come on and bitch. We need diversity
Yeah.
here.
We got 16 people in the chat right now. So
Nice.
everybody tweet out the links. See if we can get to like 20.
Yeah, and
if we get to 20, I might show you my apple juice.
oh snap! Oh come on, people, you gotta start tweeting that out because I want to see what LB is sporting for apple juice and if he's using milk as well with apple juice. Only the bold do milk and apple juice.
You hear that, Terrence? Milk and apple juice.
Hi to all the ladies in the chat. Hi, Miss. Hi, Mora. Hi, Toriel. Jamie Vick.
See now,
all
LB,
kinds of great people in the chat.
Women only started coming here because you came here lonely. You know that, right?
I know that's a lie.
they saw a couple of your reviews, heard the smooth sounds of the lonely banter, and they're like, oh yeah, we gotta follow this guy.
I don't know.
And he only has to deal with hurricanes. So,
well, I mean, he does get the occasional tornado that pops up like from a hurricane. It does
Honestly,
happen.
I've never seen a tornado.
You never seen one?
Nope.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen one live either, and I'm in a spot where we could totally get one, but I don't know if I've ever seen it live.
And PB, you know what I'm talking about, where a certain place in Wisconsin or maybe near Illinois that they call Tornado Alley.
Oh yeah, there's a couple of strips in Wisconsin that for whatever reason seem to get hit with tornadoes more than others.
Luckily, we live nowhere near them.
But I mean, I don't understand. Like, if you looked at Wisconsin, and if Lake Winnebago is the big lake that's in Wisconsin, we're not talking Lake Michigan or Lake Superior. It's the big lake that got formed on the Fox River. And if you take that and draw a straight line across the state, that is where the majority of our our tornadoes happen. And it doesn't make any sense to me, because when you look at the country as a whole, Tornado Alley goes from like Texas all the way up to Wisconsin and covers all of those states in between and can happen pretty much anywhere. Granted, most of them happen in Texas, Oklahoma, Missouri area down there, but we get a couple up here. Some of them are relatively strong. I don't think we've ever gotten an F5 or an F4. We've gotten some pretty big F3s.
I saw an F-16 once.
You motherfucker.
I've gotten a lot of FUs.
Yeah, I've
Oh,
seen an F-14 too. He took that son of a bitch out with one missile.
Yeah, and this is the thing. When you're going through shitty weather, I feel like when you're picking a place out, I think about, okay, so with tornadoes and things like that, you have the possibility where that shit can pass by. The trajectory can change. I think it's different with a earthquake because wherever the fuck the earthquake goes, it's not changing uh trajectory. It's gonna hit wherever it hits, and there's really nothing you can do to sort of prepare for it. With like a hurricane, a blizzard, other natural disasters, there's like Stig was saying, there's those strong old buildings. You can find shelter. You can kind of weather the storm. I feel like with an earthquake, you're just fucked. You got to get out of there because it's it's like you said, it becomes like a giant fucking like sinkhole. So I mean, there's no going into a building or finding a basement or a good shelter. It's just the ground's gonna sink and get in your fucking truck and drive and hope for the best.
Pretty much.
So I mean, as far as weather goes, I'd rather deal with a blizzard. I'd rather deal with a really bad storm or something where I can get indoors and hopefully the shit will pass by me. Worst case scenario, I go into a basement or something or somewhere secured, a secured room, and I wait it out. And it's kind of like the same thing with you, LB. You can wait that shit out. You just go into a room and hope the shit pass by and you're golden. With an earthquake, you can't do that. There's like literally the ground opens up. It's kind of fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I mean,
Hey,
Earth. Oh, go ahead, LB.
I was just gonna say, sometimes in life,
Yeah, I mean, of all of the natural disasters, the earthquake, I mean, maybe volcano eruption, sometimes they have a little warning for those, but an earthquake literally has the least amount of warning. It's, hey, an earthquake's about to happen, and then you feel it. That's it. With a storm, it's like, hey, we know a storm front's going to come through. They might be severe. It might be, so severe that you do get some tornadoes, but you know the storm front is coming. A hurricane, you definitely know is coming. The blizzard, you definitely know is coming. So stuff like that, you have a little bit of time to prepare for at least. Earthquake, you ain't got no time. You're lucky if you make it to, they say to stand in the door frame or whatever. Fuck that. I want to get the fuck out of the house. I don't want to be inside when there's a freaking earthquake happening. People that do that, I was like,
For me,
nah.
it was like those old school atomic bomb things where when back in World War II when they were scared of the bombs going off and they said
Oh.
hide under a fucking desk. It's like, yeah, okay, so I'm gonna hide under a desk. All this shit's gonna blow up around me. People are gonna be screaming for their lives, but I'm gonna be safe because I'm underneath a desk and I'm huddled. No, and it's the same thing. An earthquake, stand underneath the dorm frame. So maybe the frame catches the debris of my fucking roof collapsing underneath me, and I got a little pocket. And then what? I gotta wait for someone to dig me out, maybe, assuming that they find me after my whole fucking block has been destroyed. So they got to get through all that shit to get to me. God knows how long I'll be trapped there before they find me. And I'm not going to have any warning. So you can't grab food and water and supplies and shit like that. You just got to like hope to God that the rescue team is like raring to go and going to be there to pull you out.
Yeah, it's
So
starts happening and you kiss your ass goodbye and hope that you're wrong.
so
Oh, I mean, if
do
you're
you,
flexible enough to kiss your own ass.
oh Jesus.
I don't do Pilates like Terrence. I assume that's part of his training. I'm still not looking at the YouTube chat. I was going through Twitter because I wanted to retweet the link that LB put out there, trying to get up to 20.
Yeah, we're trying.
And
We're down to
DJ
12 now.
Odyssey brought up a good point with
Aw.
blizzards. We dropped to 12. No, he put up a a good point with blizzards. I've been through them. Not bad unless you lose power and it's freezing outside, and then you get the power back on for days. Yeah, those blizzards suck because you're sitting shivering, wondering when the fuck the power's gonna come on. That's a crapshoot. But I mean,
No,
for the
see,
most part,
oh, I was just gonna say you're doing it wrong. Then, if the power goes out in a blizzard, you're supposed to have sex. That's what me and my
Well,
wife do.
yeah, that depends on who you got in close proximity, though. I mean,
Oh, yeah. I mean, if the power goes out during a blizzard when LB's stuck in Toronto or something, he's a lonely man. So,
I'm good.
so I mean, I wanted to bring this up because the whole point is, we've said some funny jokes and stuff like that, but I mean, it's serious, and people in LA, man, come on, your city's going to hell anyways. Move somewhere else. you know, you can't stop earthquakes.
no, you can't stop
So
earthquakes.
you
You can barely prepare for them. Even the buildings and highways and all that shit that they say is earthquake proof, I don't buy it.
I don't know how you I don't know how you make a building earthquake proof because if the ground's literally sinking, like okay, the building's fine, so what, you go into a fucking crater but you're like, "Oh, the building's still standing. I'm good." I mean, I got a bunch of rubble and shit all around me and, who knows how far or where you're at, but the building's still standing, so hey, a win.
Yeah, I mean, it always confused me because if the building is, say, relatively close to the fault line, and let's say it's a big building, like a relatively big building, the dirt on one side is moving, but the dirt on the other side isn't. So isn't that literally going to like twist the building or rip it in two or some shit like that? How the hell is it earthquake proof? What are you talking? Is it like floating above the ground? Like a hovercraft is earthquake proof. Ain't nothing gonna happen to a hovercraft in an earthquake unless like a tree falls on you. Then you're fucked.
It's just a bad situation. When I see shit like this, I'm like, a shitty winter, not so bad. Let's see. We got Butterfingers. He said, Zod, acknowledge one of your first followers, you egocentrical fuck. Butterfinger, I got you. You said tonight's topic, PB marital bed. Love it. Love it. And we got Jamie Vick said, you don't want to be outside while the shit is falling around you if you're lucky. So yeah, that's a good point. And Mega Jenny says, unfortunately, we can only create earthquakes. This is shown in 24, the game, Superman, the movie, and Arrow season 1.
Wait, when are we creating these earthquakes? Is he like talking in the movie Ocean's 13, like creating an earthquake?
I remember that.
No, my goodness. These Jedis, I tell you. Um,
I like that movie.
Me too.
so It's Trap
I love
Production
that.
says the way the buildings are put together, they're structured to deal with earthquake vibrations. There's quite a few Japanese companies and experts in the field. Their big cities have to deal with swaying long after the earthquake happens. So when they are talking earthquakes proof. I think they're talking about the aftershock effect and whether or not the building's going to move or stay steady.
Okay, I mean, yeah, when I was looking on Twitter, the one lady said that these freaking aftershocks could happen for years to come. Years.
So that means even when you're after the, oh my God, the ground sinking thing, you still have the tremors going out and swaying the buildings. That's what I'm gathering.
We're not talking about Stranger Things. We're talking about earthquakes.
Don't you ruin it, Perp, because I just started watching Stranger Things. If there's a spoiler,
Well, if Terrence watches Stranger Things, you're in trouble, buddy.
Oh my!
I mean, the evidence is there.
I'm back, people.
I didn't know that you were gone, Stig. I just saw that you were muted. I assumed you were making coffee.
No. I was putting the laundry in the dryer.
Ah. So I was close.
Very close.
Oh. Well then.
Jamie Vick says a lot depends on the severity of the earthquake. I mean, that's true. Like, I assume plenty of buildings can withstand a 3.0 earthquake, and not a lot of them can withstand a 10.0 earthquake.
So Terrence says in the chat that I'm exaggerating. He doesn't spoil stuff. Am I exaggerating?
I read it somewhere. It's hypothetical. I didn't spoil it. I read it somewhere. It's a hypothetical, right, Terrence?
Well, if it's hypothetical.
Still salty about them deleted scenes. Were you gonna spend the whole 3 hours watching the movie again?
What movie?
The end game.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah. What are you talking about Endgame for? What do you mean?
Well, no, because you mentioned the spoilers thing. I assume that's what you were talking about, and I was like, yeah, because that brought up the whole question of, well, were we seeing it for the movie or just the spoilers? Now you got me saying it. Just the end credits.
No, don't tell me anything, because I didn't see it yet.
Spider-Man comes back.
That's not a spoiler. That happens in the movie that everybody saw in April. It is July. Terrence said, I made sure Spider-Man didn't get spoiled just for me. Well, I appreciate that, Terrence. I appreciate that.
Yes, that was very true. He did do that. So good on you.
Aha! Now we get to the crux of it. I wouldn't do something like that on purpose. Exactly,
Bruh,
Terrence.
We was literally saying stop talking about it. You continue talking about it.
On purpose.
Well, if it's not on purpose, it doesn't count.
Oh my God, you sound like my wife, Stig. Well, I didn't intentionally piss you off, did I? I was like, no, you unintentionally pissed me off, but I'm still pissed off, aren't I?
The wind did it.
Oh, man. Oh, what's this comment from Mega Jetty? I don't like Trump, and it jumped. And my stepdad hates him, but we both genuinely impressed by him not talking politics yesterday on Independence Day. I didn't watch any of that speech at all. I didn't know that. I just know that he was doing some fancy parade, and I was like, yeah, put those motherfucking tanks in the streets. I love it.
Jamie Vick put on a totally different subject. Has anyone watched American Gods on Cinemax? I have. It is an amazing show. We won't do spoilers, but I'm right there with you. it is like the show to watch. So definitely check that out.
What?
What?
So we can
what
all
it-
agree.
Hold on.
Yeah, hold
PB,
on.
have you watched it?
I have not watched
Me?
American Gods. What is it?
Yeah. What is it?
It's based on a Neil Gaiman novel. It's
Yeah, it's about
old gods living in America. Really?
Like,
yeah, and they're fighting new gods, which is technology that
Yeah.
people are putting above the old gods. Like your
Yeah.
phones and shit takes on a life of its own, kind of a thing.
Well, since Jamie Vick recommended the show, I will watch the first episode.
Oh yeah, you definitely like it. It's good.
I'd give it a 6 out of 10.
Oh, well,
I'm
Oh.
I'm
Well,
I'm
that because you're talking about how close it follows the book, Stig. Because I know it. I read the
no.
books and
It's no, it's just I'm picky with my scores, you know.
ooh,
But
Dig hitting them with the heart.
I don't consider a 6 out of 10 to be a bad score. You know, if
Well,
it's a
yeah,
5 out of 10, it's okay, it's watchable. So a 6 is better than that.
well, if we're going by the U.S. grading scale, a 6 out of 10 would be a D.
Well, I'm in Norway.
Well,
oh, that was great.
Well, it's 60% great. Yeah.
well, you're outnumbered here, 3-1.
okay, Jamie Vick. Jamie Vick says she would give it a higher score than that. What score would you give it out of 10, Jamie Vick?
Yeah. Give us the wrong answer, Jamie Vick.
Stop attacking the chat, Stig.
It's not my chat.
Terrence gives it a 10. Perp gives it a yup. Damn it.
Terrence gave it an 8.
I mean, 8 out of 10. My mistake.
How somebody on my YouTube channel asked me why am I replying to them on my YouTube channel?
What? That's hilarious. I'm just waiting for this out of 10 score from Jamie Vick. Oh, and then an Australian shows up. What the fuck? We're trying to have an awesome stream. Oh, here we go. Oh, she says at least an 8. At least I think she's a she. LB, correct?
Yeah, Jamie's a woman.
Yeah, that's what I was pretty sure. With the name Jamie, I've known Jamies that are men, Jamies that are women, so I never know with that name. It's not like Zod, and you're like, yep, that's a man.
Maybe it's short for Jamie Victoria.
Oh, maybe. So she also gives it at least an 8. So we got 2 people giving it an 8 out of 10, and 1 foreigner giving it a 6.
Yeah.
So if Terrence gives it an 8 out of 10, that's really like a 4 out of 10.
See, we're getting closer to that 6 already.
So you haven't watched any of it either, LB?
Nah, this is the first time I've heard of it.
Me too.
Very good actors in it, though. Very good actors in it. As
Yeah,
Gillian
yeah.
Anderson and what's his name?
Ain't
He
that
plays.
Nebula? That's Nebula, ain't it?
No, Dana Scully.
No, I'm talking about Gillian Anderson. Ain't that Nebula?
No,
that's Karen Gillan.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah, that is close.
Oh, it's actually Victoria James.
That wasn't far off.
Oh, okay. Cool. So yeah, about the earthquakes things, we
still on earthquakes, bro. Ain't nobody died from it.
No, we're switching topics.
Nobody died. Nobody got injured. I thought we were moving on from the earthquake because we started talking about this, and Terrence said, LB, it's what I said it is. Besides, you like Game of Thrones Season 8. Come on, bruh. 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 Bruh.
Yeah, if you like Game of Thrones, if you like
I'm gonna
Game
tell
of
you like
Thrones,
this: Game of Thrones season 8 better than Doom Patrol.
Oh, no, that's a party foul right there.
Wait, what did you say, LB? I missed it.
I said Game of Thrones season 8 is better than Doom Patrol.
I haven't seen Doom Patrol yet.
Please don't.
How much of it did you watch?
I still need to finish the first episode, but like,
Oh, God.
I just don't see myself watching it anymore.
Okay.
I mean, we could talk. I mean, I could finish watching the episode while I'm on the stream, and then we could talk about it later if you like or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, we could. It's not technically in the title, but we could.
Yeah, I mean that's all on the General Zod, the man himself.
You know me. I say, let it go. Let it go.
Don't sing that fucking song here. I hate that fucking song. I never even watched that movie.
Ooh, Terrell is in the chat, and she brought up an interesting point. You want all those interesting people moving from California to where? To the Atlantic.
Washington. Oh.
no,
Yeah, into the
send them in.
ocean.
Yeah, send them into the Pacific though. We don't want them floating up here in Norway.
Oh, all right, Pacific.
Yeah.
Are you drunk again, Zod?
No, I'm actually sober this time. I'm trying to be professional, PB. Unlike you, God,
Yeah, I'm pounding Miller Lights.
like a boss.
Hey, Shellback. Bruh. I'll never say it again, bruh.
How big of
Jackass
a bra
turtle.
are we talking?
Talking about a bra so big, it could hold all the other bras in the world, bruh.
Double D.
So we got 17 people watching. Thank you everybody for coming to the channel. Let's get to the next topic while LB sorts out how great Doom Patrol is. Kevin Spacey is looking like the accusations that were brought against him are being retracted. And I'm just gonna go out and say this. Okay, Kevin Spacey is one of my favorite actors. Now, I am a big proponent of, like, having fucking tangible evidence before you throw someone under the bus. And I find this interesting about Hollywood. They start a Me Too movement. They attack all the white males, but you would think someone like Kevin Spacey, who you know has a big liberal proponent for those guys. I never agreed with his politics per se, but they threw him under the fucking bus real quick. And now I'm really hoping that this is
No, they didn't. He's gay.
yeah, and he's gay.
Yeah.
So they
It
threw
did
a
throw
gay
him
man
under the bus.
and I'm kind of hoping that this is true because these guys are fucking idiots, and he is one of my favorite actors, and yeah, he likes male penis, never hid that, but saying that he molested boys,
Hold on. He
boy,
did hide this because he just came out last year.
Yeah.
I
He did hide
know,
it.
but he only came out because all this
Yeah,
other stuff
exactly.
came out.
yeah, but I mean, come on, I kind of always figured it. No one else got that gist from watching. No one caught on that he might be.
No, I always heard the rumors, but he never said he was.
I mean, but that doesn't even really matter. The point of
I
it
know,
is
but you
that,
said he was always gay, so I'm just
No.
well, I mean, the point is they viciously attacked him, and they went to the little boys thing, and that's a pretty vicious rumor to level at someone if it is now being brought to light that these are all just accusations, that they have no tangible evidence in which to prosecute him. So now he lost one of the top rated shows for Netflix. They cut him right out of that season. He lost 2 movies. They cut his scenes from, and he lost work just because these fucking SJWs want to throw a really horrendous thing to say about someone. That's like on a whole new level of slandering someone's name. That's pretty bad to say about someone if you have no fucking proof.
Yeah. If he's innocent, he's innocent. Yeah, but he should have been innocent until proven guilty.
Well, that'd be nice.
Yeah. Anyway,
I mean,
I have to jump off because I promised Moira to be back on her channel, but I might jump back here again later.
Ooh,
that's okay. We'll still be
what a
going.
tease.
I'm a bouncing today, back and forth.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Welcome,
Even-
Teresa Martin. Welcome, Make Way for Zod. I love your thing there. Thank you.
All right, we will
But
talk to you later, Stig. Oh, he left without saying an actual goodbye because you just jumped to like cutting him off, you jackass.
what?
Teresa
Like,
is in the chat.
I know Teresa's in the chat. I was going to say hi to her right after I said bye to Stig. Hello, Teresa.
Hello, Teresa from America.
Yes, hello, Teresa. Welcome to the channel. Glad to have you. So, yeah.
And, as Shellback said, we're here talking about male penis. Is there any other kind?
LB, what do you feel about this when people bring out these accusations and it's the court of public opinion rather than getting facts? We've seen this like 1,000 times. People getting careers crushed and things like that, and then it comes out, oh, well, now the accusations are being dropped and we're looking further into it.
Well, I'm a man that believes in facts. I don't want to hear fictions. If there's accusation, you don't crucify people. You wait till everything is sorted out, etc., etc. Because as we see many times, stuff turns out to be lies or stuff don't turn out to be what it seems. And when you jump on the accusation and crucify people, it ruins people's lives and careers. And there's never any repercussions from that. So I'm not a fan of it. I know that Kevin Spacey, the lawsuit was dropped, but he still has his trial going on. So he's not all the way out the woods yet.
No, and I agree. If something comes up during trial that we don't know about, then fine. But this shit that the media does, and we can't say it's a new thing. They've done it for years with these big cases. It's that whole bandwagon mentality that they have. They got to have the hot story. They want a different angle or a different take. But I think in recent years, it's been worse, especially in this new environment we have. When they hear something like this immediately, they just go right for the throat. And then, I like them come out and be like, what about the fucking retractions? Because these articles ran with horrible things.
Speaking of retractions, I'm glad that you brought that up. The real question is, if he's like innocent of all of this stuff, is he gonna go back in the closet?
Probably.
That's a fair point. I mean, in this day and age, why would he need to? It's more they're more accepting of this shit, and now especially with this whole Me Too thing and protecting every class, I would think he wouldn't want to go back. I'd be like, just fuck it. I'm I'm gay. I like the dick. So what? That doesn't change the fact that he's a great actor.
Okay. That's okay.
Somebody clip that.
I was talking about in terms of Kevin Spacey.
Oh, you meant to say Kevin Spacey likes the dick.
So this
Oh
was
my
said. When was it said? I'll let Matt School know.
Oh my goodness. You know what? I'm used to being roasted. It's my lot. Um, but yeah, I think that you know, LB, do you think that when they make these articles, and I'm gonna ask the whole panel this question, and we'll start with you, LB. When they make these articles, do you think if they're wrong, they should retract what their statement was and apologize?
Absolutely. But
All right.
they they don't, man. They don't care, man. I mean, the damage is already done, so it's like whatever with them, you know.
PB, what do you think?
I think that your mother said goodnight.
Oh, all right. You answer the question, PB. I'm gonna go say goodnight to my mom.
Wait, what's the question? Like retractions? People want retractions?
Yep.
Oh man, nobody cares about retractions. It's like people only care about headlines. They just want to see headlines. Like in my county, people will get arrested for any number of drugs, alcohol, or whatever. And then they end up going to court and they have their day in court. And then it's found out, oh, either it was totally false or the cops did something totally illegal. So we're actually not going to convict you or prosecute you or anything like that. So the paper has to write the retraction, and the retraction is on the back page, whereas the headline 5 months ago is on the front page. So there's a huge difference between what the retraction is as far as importance and what the original headline is as far as importance. Because you would think the retraction is just as important, if not more important, because it's what's setting the record straight.
Exactly. And you know what? This whole thing, Jamie Vick made a good comment here. I don't think it matters if he's gay. His career was ruined because of the allegation of molesting boys. Exactly. It wasn't, how many Hollywood stars you suspect or whatever, they come out they're gay. And, no one really makes a big deal about that unless, it's someone like an action hero or something like that and they're portrayed in a certain sense. Then you have kind of a little thing and then it blows over. This is different because he was accused of molesting boys and he was attacked by multiple angles. And you know what? All these little fucking liberals that were riding that dick, no pun intended, earlier in his career, all jumped ship and got on board with these big headlines. And so now what? You ruined the guy's career and then gonna say, "Oops, our bad." It's kind of really shitty.
That's putting it mildly, I would say. Very mildly. I mean,
I know. It's crazy as I would go with it, but it just kind of makes me a little bit upset, because I love that show, House of Cards. I wanted to see a good ending, and now I won't get one.
Well, General Zod, your chat has fallen to 9 people, so I guess they don't want to talk about Kevin Spacey.
hello, representation. I thought you didn't want to bitch tonight.
We got some tokenism here tonight.
Leave me alone.
She says she doesn't want a bitch and comes in hot. So let's get a female perspective on this. Miss, it's now coming to light that the whole thing with Kevin Spacey and him being accused of molesting boys is just accusations now, and that they have no proof. And they destroyed his career over this.
I believe there is information that is true that he was in a relationship with like a 12-year-old girl. 14.
A girl. He's gay.
Well, yeah,
He's
I
gay.
know.
Yeah, I mean, but how much of that is the rumor mill, because there were a lot of different stories coming out, and how much of it is the truth. There's got to be something that's not true if they're now saying, oh, so these accusations seem to be just that, accusations. So,
The
I
thing
mean,
is Hollywood as a whole has a reputation for having many of their people being pedophiles or molesting child actors. There is a huge conspiracy going on where Hollywood has been molesting or abusing their child actors. That isn't untrue. So the
yeah,
fact that it can be pushed down to just accusations concerns me, because this happens. This is real.
but I have yet to see anyone bring any proof to say definitively, yes, this happened, or no, it didn't. It's a bunch of just stuff that's come out, that's been said, but
Yeah.
there's been no really, who's saying this? Where's the evidence? They're in court, and yet they
That's true.
haven't
There
produced it.
should absolutely be evidence to prove that this happened against Kevin Spacey, but I still think it should be taken seriously. And it's innocent until proven guilty. I'm all behind that completely. But those accusations should be taken seriously. There should be proof found. But where can there be proof found? What proof would you find that Kevin Spacey assaulted little boys? Other than their word.
Well, I mean, okay, let's give an example with, say, Michael Jackson's case, right? When people
Yeah.
came out and testified in court about it, and some of those claims turned out to be false. Some of them had a lot of validity and had a lot of detail in it. I mean, the case still got dropped, but it was there. There was the proof there, and then you kind of came up with your own decision. Like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff here. Whereas this, there's been nothing like that, and I just think that if this turns out not to be true, they have destroyed a man's career. And I'm not saying that the topic shouldn't be taken seriously. It most certainly should. But if you're throwing someone under the bus who has nothing to do with it, that's a different scenario.
But they're throwing one of the most beloved actors under the bus. Same with Bill Cosby. And it was shocking, and absolutely shocking. But I think if his career has been destroyed because of lies, there should be some reprimanding for that. But we don't know that they're lies yet. Just because there isn't proof of it. Like, I don't know what you would want as proof that it happened. Video, pictures. I don't know how you could prove that.
For an example, there were a ton of people. There was things that came out. I mean, there was tangible evidence, and that it just mounted up as the case went on.
Yeah.
That without a doubt, there was no shadow of a doubt. Yeah, that shit happened. Now with Spacey, it's different because there's been things said. They've brought it to court, but as the article came out, there's nothing definitive yet, and some of it is being dropped. So, I mean, it's still in court.
Yeah.
So he's still not, LB said, he's still not out of the woods yet. But it's looking more and more like bullshit. If that's the case, it seems like he was just a sacrifice because they had this Me Too thing going, and they started catching other people red-handed.
That was not what the Me Too thing was about, though. Not from what I saw. The Me Too thing was a bunch of just grown women talking about things that happened to them in the past. They weren't looking at boys for the Me Too movement. I don't think what happened with Kevin Spacey and those little boys has anything to do with the Me Too movement, because I think the Me Too movement was very much directed at a certain gender of people.
Yeah, but that's when all these Hollywood stars started getting caught with all sorts of different things, like the Matt
Except for
Lauer
Kevin
thing
Spacey was
happened.
happening for a while.
No, that came to the forefront
Well,
after.
I'd just like to circle back to I don't understand why we would destroy a man's career over something that either is or is not proven.
It's people's lives are destroyed
Allegations.
every day by allegations, not
I know,
just
and I don't think that it's reasonable.
No, it isn't. And it's not even just rape allegations. People who are accused of murder as well, who are put through the ringer, being accused of murder. It isn't just that, and that tends to ruin people's lives, whether they did it or not, whether it was on to get them in trouble or not. That happens within our system because people can't control themselves. But I think I don't give a shit about Kevin Spacey's career if some kids were actually hurt. And I think Kevin
Oh,
Spacey was one.
absolutely.
Yeah. It hurts me, it upsets me, it's disappointing. And if it's not true, then it's not true. And if some people are upset with Kevin Spacey afterwards, that's just because people are stupid.
And I think that's my ultimate thing here is, once again, it comes down to this culture because, the sad part is they can do, like PB was saying, the back of the page 5 article apology and retracting previous shit, but it's not going to be the headline like it was when it first came out. It's not going to be the front page, and he's an amazing actor, so he'll probably get work after all this shit is done or whatever, and hopefully he'll be able to revitalize his career. He's done it
If
once
it's
before.
not true.
But I mean, if it is true, then sure, I say throw the book at him. But if it's not, then I mean, this is just the dangers of just throwing these things out here. And I mean, not just like you said, Miss, not just Hollywood stars, regular people. I mean, Kevin's got money to fight it, but what about the normal guy who doesn't? And someone says some horrendous shit.
Well, that's just, I mean, it ain't, it's not right, it's not okay, but I mean, that's life. Like they say, people get.
There is definitely issues with how our justice system works. There definitely issues with that. But when it comes down to it, it's still innocent until proven guilty, and we're gonna have to deal with those issues. I don't think there's any way to fix them right now. People are going to think what people are going to think. If Kevin Spacey is innocent, people are still going to still in the back of their minds remember the front page issues of Kevin Spacey's a pedophile, not the five-page apology that he gets. The tiny little article in the back about how he didn't do it. No one's going to remember that. They're going to remember Kevin Spacey's a pedophile, and that's all they're going to think. And it's sad, but it's how the media works and it's how the justice system works. It's unfair, but I don't know how we could possibly fix it other than trying to keep those kinds of things private matters, but that's not how the media works.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a sad sad thing, and I think I took more offense because he is one of my favorite actors, and when it came out, I was like, yeah, okay, I want to see what the evidence is, and I've been following along with it, and then hadn't heard anything. I'm like, oh shit, you know what I mean?
You need to
So
be,
I'm like waiting,
yeah,
and
you
then
need
this.
to be able to separate the actor from his movies, from his characters, because you can't sit there and not watch the shit that he's done because he's a pedophile. You can't do that to yourself, where you're not allowed to watch these movies that you absolutely enjoyed because that actor there was a pedophile.
Yeah, I mean, it just it's a sad thing when it puts this taint on some great work that the person has done, and even like you were saying, even if it comes out it's not true, there's always this black mark that now people are gonna have where they remember those articles and it's like, yeah, it was really not guilty, but they remember the first article, and it's like, it's shitty, and this just isn't for Hollywood people. This is for people in general. It's just, it's crazy. It's crazy to me.
Oh, well, if we're going
And
by the first article, then I'm going to remember that Kevin Spacey likes taking dick.
I
And I mean, I don't know if that wasn't a damning thing. I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, whatever.
we need to be able to separate the actor from the movies and the characters that they've played, because that we're not responsible for what those people do, and we're not supporting them by watching their movies. We're just not.
Exactly. I agree with you, Miss. We're supporting the film that we like.
The story.
Or
It's
the
about the story.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's what creates this court of public opinion, is that when these things come out, they use it all the time, that term, it rocked the public, right?
Yeah.
But it's like you said, Miss, it's because the public, they aren't separating the fictional character from the person. There's another saying, never meet your heroes, you know?
Yeah.
Because you get disappointed by what you meet, because you have this built up image based on what you've seen, but it's not the person. It's
Well,
a
my hero's
projection of
dead,
what we
so
want it to be.
my heroes are dead.
But I mean, did your heroes die with Last Jedi?
No, Stanley Kubrick and George Carlin.
Oh, great. Oh, yes. George Carlin, the original person who can make the most swear words I've ever heard. Didn't he have a skit with a swear word for every letter of the alphabet? That was great. But yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't feel that it's necessarily the accusation that bugs me. It's the content and the weight behind it. Like, you say, like, for instance, someone robs someone, something like that. They're like, oh, whatever. But you start throwing big ones like child molestation and shit like that. That's a big fuck up. That's bad.
If it was women, if it was a bunch of women coming back to back against, or men wouldn't even do that. What man would come out and say, oh, Kevin Spacey molested me? No grown man would be able to do that to themselves. Go through a rigorous court thing and talk about how he let Kevin Spacey overpower him. That's really hard. That's a hard thing to have to come out and say. And women usually do it. I'm gonna fucking kill you, PB.
Why? Because I'm laughing at your joke?
It wasn't a joke.
Oh, okay.
That's a
You said it was a hard thing.
difficult thing to do. I'm just having a serious conversation. PB's becoming an 11-year-old boy.
I'm 12.
11. Not worthy of 12.
I apologize for these toxic males, miss.
Goddamn. That's a difficult thing for someone to have to do. And women usually can, I guess, really sick women can do it for the attention when they really want it. Or convince themselves that it's happened to them. But I think it's much harder for men. I can't even say the word without being worried PB's gonna lose his shit.
I didn't laugh that time. I kept it to myself.
Difficult. Trying to use the word difficult.
It's hard to use that word, hey?
It's difficult.
So yeah, I'm gonna leave this at this. But I'm gonna finish off by saying, guys, don't fall
You
into the
don't want to.
bullshit.
No, you shouldn't have said finish off.
Miss, I am literally like a room away from PB. We're in a fortress of solitude.
Oh, you're the same. Oh, that's why I could hear the background of laughter.
Yep. I have come to the woods. Have you ever seen Deliverance?
No.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, kind of like that. A little scared. They were
I
talking.
know the title. I can tell you what it's about.
Miss, just don't watch it. It's a great movie, but still don't watch it. There's a lot of stuff no one should ever have.
There's a lot of hard stuff in that movie.
Oh, Jesus Christ, PB. Oh my
It's
God.
from 1972 with Burt Reynolds.
Yes, but there's a particular scene that 1972 hadn't seen before that movie came out. Let me tell you.
Mountain scene.
Not by choice. Not by
Gross.
choice. Yeah, it's a great movie though.
Gross. What a homophobe.
That was the greatest. It was like gross.
She's such a homophobe.
Heterosexual normal sex is gross to me, so.
She's such a sexophobe.
There you go.
That's a weird thing to be, but she is. Jamie Frick says she's never seen it. What's it about?
Burt Reynolds. Then a couple of people go up into the mountains. They find some people they won't want to find, and wacky shenanigans ensues. Just watch the movie. I don't want to ever relive that again.
But it's a great movie.
It's a great movie, but it's got some scenes that
I don't believe
edgy
you.
For its time.
Mister, I don't want to see it ever again. It's a great
Miss,
movie.
have you ever seen the movie to go completely different, like opposite end of the spectrum? Have you ever seen the movie A Dog's Purpose?
No, but I know what you're talking about.
Okay, so a movie like that you could say is a great movie, but you might not necessarily want to watch it again, because if you're a man like me, you don't want to sit there and cry through an entire movie because it's so emotional. I'd rather watch Return of the Jedi.
You cried.
I cried too, man.
Hey, you watch that fucking movie and you tell me if you don't
I'm
cry.
bringing forward my toxic femininity and making fun of men crying, even though that's exactly what the feminists want.
I know. I cried a whole bunch in that movie. It has multiple dogs.
I haven't seen it. I didn't know if I wanted to.
You do. It's a great movie.
I watched the one with the one dog that dies. But
which is named...
I can't remember what it's called. There's so many fucking dog movies, man. It has Owen something. Owen...
Oh, Marley and Me.
Yeah, Marley and Me. I watched Marley and Me. That did not make me cry.
Okay, it's not as good as A Dog's Purpose. It doesn't have Dennis Quaid.
No.
I almost cried actually during this one movie called The Impossible. So with Naomi Watts and Ian McGregor and the dude who plays Spider-Man in the new movies.
Terrence is a bot. LB, look at the chat. Read the chat. You see this? He never cries at any movie. Ever. LB, have you ever cried at a movie? Ever?
Once.
What was the movie?
Lion.
What?
Lion? Like the cat?
No, the movie with I forgot the guy's name. The Slumdog Millionaire guy.
I haven't seen
What's his
that.
name? It was nominated for an Academy Award.
It's called Lion.
Lying?
Lion, like the animal.
Oh.
It's based in India.
Oh, that's. Oh, you're talking about Life of Pi?
No, it's called Lion.
Because I swear the Slumdog Millionaire guy is in that movie as well.
What's the guy's name? Dev Patel.
Mm.
Yeah, Dev Patel,
heard
Rooney
that.
Mara, and Nicole Kidman.
Okay. I'm pretty sure I've never seen that movie before.
Yeah,
I'll have to check it
same.
out.
Why'd you cry?
Interesting.
Man, it was a touching story, man. It was basically about a kid in India that got separated from his parents, and I mean not his parents, his mom and his brother, and he ended up getting adopted by some Australian parents, and
Oh, I've heard of this.
later on he wanted to find his parents and stuff, and yeah, it was touching.
Yeah,
Nice.
I've heard of this. I didn't know it was called Lion.
I had some grown man tears.
Oh, Mega Jetty is leaving us.
Thank you, Jetty.
Good night.
How dare
Twitter.
It's
you?
good to have you know.
Well, at least he's saying goodbye, unlike everybody yesterday.
Yeah, everyone just dipped.
So, you, PB, you and Zod are just best buddies now, I take it?
What do you mean by best buddies? He's not
Or-
like my best friend.
Or did he break into your house? Or?
Yeah, he broke into my house like a supervillain. You can't keep Kryptonians out.
Yeah, you know, it's like that one commercial. Like, once they come in, you can't get them out.
It's like a vampire.
I'm dropping the link to Lion in the chat so you all can be educated by a good movie.
What is? I don't understand. Terrence says he's seen over 3,000 films, and none of them have brought a single tear to his eye.
I haven't
Bot
seen.
confirmed.
I don't be paying no attention to
What is that like famous movie where the dog dies?
Benji?
A Dog's Purpose.
No.
What'd you say, LB?
I said I don't be paying Terrence no mind. He just be talking.
The famous movie where a dog dies. Oh, jeez.
That everyone knows. It's old. He gets rabies.
Lassie?
He gets
It's
rabies,
rabies.
and they shoot him.
Oh, jeez.
What is that
I can't-
stupid movie that everyone says is really sad?
But it's not. Are you looking it up on your computer?
Is it Old Yeller?
It's either
Old Yeller, thank you.
Okay.
So you didn't cry during Sleep
Yeah, I
Dogs?
remember because my freaking teacher showed that movie during class. Why would a teacher show that movie? She's like, "Oh, we're gonna watch an old film about a boy and his dog," and I said, "Oh, I like dogs.
It's
This is gonna
kindergarten.
be great." And we're going to the movie, and stuff is happening, and then the dog gets rabies, and I'm a kid, so I don't understand what rabies does to a dog. And then there's a scene where he's like, "You gotta put him down, son." And I hear the bang, and I'm like, "What? What? He shot him? Why are we watching this in class? What are you trying to teach me?"
Like first grade.
And there was no lesson. I don't know what the lesson was because I was emotionally distraught from that day on, and I think that's when I began ranting.
The lesson was if your dog gets rabies, kill it before it kills you.
I mean, that is a solid lesson.
That was the lesson.
No,
Then
that's
next, did you watch Cujo?
Yes,
seen
that was a
Cujo.
case where I was like, okay, that dog kind of had it coming, man. That dog had them trapped in that hot ass car.
Dude, you're spoiling the movie for Jamie Vick.
Oh, which one, Old Yeller or Cujo? Because both of them
Cujo.
are from like. Oh,
They
Cujo.
should reach. You know, they could probably do a really badass
I didn't know
Cujo
if they did the
today.
dog. It's crazy.
Hey, y'all need to see this one movie. I think it's called White. No, hold on. I need to double check. I think it's called White Dog or something. Hold on.
Interesting. Terrence says, I have no reason to lie, PB. I didn't say that you're lying, Terrence. I just said that you're a bot, because only a bot could not lie or not cry at all of these films.
Yeah, it's called White Dog. It's
White Dog.
like Terrence, bro. Like,
Where do you find these movies?
I be watching movies. I know a lot of people that's like into film, so that's how it be happening.
I love movies, but like I haven't heard of any of the ones you're talking about.
White Dog is a racist dog movie where the dog hates black people. It's hilarious.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Hey, but man, Terrence, like I'm not saying you be lying, but you don't always be.
When I was, when did that Will Smith movie?
I Am Legend?
No, the robot one.
Oh, iRobot.
iRobot?
Is it iRobot? Okay. When iRobot came out, I can't remember how old I was, but I was really young to be stupid enough to think that cats didn't like black people. I thought that was the message of that movie. I was like,
that's great, man.
I didn't understand why the cat was so upset. So I was like, does the cat not like black people? Is that what's going on? So I just assumed cats don't like black people. And I was like super surprised when we got a cat and it liked my older brother. I was like, hey, our cats like you. I thought cats didn't like black people.
What? You're super white and your older brother is a black man?
Yeah, he's my half brother.
Oh, okay.
Same mom, different dads.
I didn't know that there were black people from Canada.
He is American. Like, I'm Canadian from my dad. He's full American, so they had to go through a rigorous bullshit experience to be able to live in Canada with us.
Yo, speaking of Canada, y'all custom series system is the worst.
I pretty much any complaints you have about Canada, I'm pretty much on your side.
I mean, that's why Stephen A. Smith bitches every year when Toronto makes the playoffs and he has to go cover them and is hoping at every stage that they get knocked out of the playoffs so he doesn't have to go back to fucking Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the worst going through customs, man. It's just like when I was coming back to Orlando, he's like, the guy asked me, where are you going? Like, I know they asked that regardless at the airports where you going through customs. He's like, where are you going? I'm like, Orlando. He's like, why? You see my passport and global entry card. It says I live in Orlando. Why you ask me why am I going there? But like, it took so long to go through customs, and I got global entry. Canada.
Fucking Canada.
Canada sucks, man.
I love the fact that we have a female self-hating Canadian.
Yep, pretty much. I'm anti-feminist and anti-Canada.
Well, I mean, she's only half Canadian.
Not even that. My grandfather's American and my grandmother's Costa Rican. My dad just happened to be born in Canada.
Oh, so he's
Canadian.
So he's like Ted Cruz Canadian.
Yeah.
Terrence, I ain't say you was lying. I'm just saying I don't always believe you're telling the truth.
I didn't say you were lying. I just said you probably aren't telling the truth.
Daddy Pants says, "Hey Terrence, Zod and LB don't give a f about the truth from what I'm hearing. What are you hearing, Daddy Pants?"
Yeah, Terrence literally just said thank you to me.
Perp says my mom is Costa Rican, and you're purple.
And he's a purple from the East Coast.
Canada was cool. I enjoyed Toronto. Like, I couldn't live there because you have to literally pay for parking everywhere you go.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I mean, it's crazy. Like downtown Toronto, like you have to pay for parking everywhere. Like in Orlando, you don't have to do that if you go downtown.
Right.
But yeah, man, it was hard to find parking spaces. I mean, Toronto's huge, man, as far as the population. But I enjoy Toronto. But I don't have any complaints about Canada, except for customs.
Socialist healthcare is shit, and that's what Canada has.
You said Canada is socialist?
The healthcare,
Oh, okay.
the free healthcare bullshit doesn't work, and anyone who says it does is delusional.
Well, we have a
You-
lot of delusional far left people in America that says it works.
Because they're idiots and they haven't lived in Canada.
So General Zod, I hope you don't mind me asking our fellow Canadians some questions.
Wait, okay.
He sure sounds okay with it.
Oh my God. Yeah, go for it.
So
Yeah.
you say that the free healthcare doesn't work. Do you
It doesn't.
want to explain to us why it doesn't work?
Because there aren't a lot of doctors because they don't because of the way that it's based. There's the waiting. People die from the wait list that they're on to get surgeries. People literally they die in the wait rooms because they're waiting for so long.
Okay, so hold on.
And it isn't even free. It's not very free. Like prescriptions and stuff is like an arm and a leg.
Mm.
And then
know
you
what's
need
funny?
another prescription for the
y'all
arm and the leg that you lost.
Y'all prescriptions is cheaper than America, believe it or not.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's interesting to know. So you said that there aren't enough doctors.
No, they're not. It's a ridiculous idea that we should just get free healthcare. It's like, what about the doctors, you dumbasses? Doctors should get paid for what they're doing.
Intriguing stuff. You've enlightened me tonight. Thank you.
Like, we should get doctors to do free stuff on us because we earn it. People they're idiots. Same with their ridiculous wanting to get their debts wiped away from student loans. It's like, well, where are they gonna get the money for that? Rich people.
Yeah, you know, those rich people that are just like, they're just everywhere.
You know,
People.
they could just take money out of their money rooms that they have. It's just filled with $100 bills. They just take some out of that, give it to me. That'd be great.
Well, they did watch DuckTales.
Yeah, I mean,
they're idiots.
I don't know if you want to go down that road, Zod. So I'll let you lead this. I got things to say about that, but I don't know if you want to talk about that stuff. So you let us know, General Zod.
No, go down that road. We don't care here in the fandom zone. This shit is very enlightening because people just think that there's money trees just hanging around.
I loved my social studies teacher was saying how, like, well, my American college buddies were worried about me when I got sick and thought I'd have to leave college because I couldn't afford getting the surgery I needed and go to college, but Canadian free healthcare saved the day. And I'm like, how long were you waiting for that surgery with like half of your intestines hanging out of your stomach? You're not going to tell us that part of your story, are you? You're just going to skip to the I got surgery and Canada was like, we got your bill. That's not. This shit's on us, said Canada. No.
It's funny because like I just listen to like all these far left politicians talk about socialism and making everything free, but it's like, okay, how do you plan to get this stuff, these college debts wiped out and all this stuff that you keep talking about for free? You keep talking about taxing the rich and all this other stuff, but it's like, okay, the Senate is controlled by the Republicans, and I mean, the House is probably going to get.
But like they're talking about like the rich's savings accounts. They want to get into like the rich people's savings account, which really they keep their billions of dollars. They think that they have like this stashed amount of money that they should get access to, and there's not even that many. Like, there's 1% of the population of people who are rich,
Right.
and even if you
Well,
took all of their savings money, all of money that they think that they have together, that still wouldn't be enough to pay off their ridiculous loans.
nope, it doesn't even come close. And they want to tax them out of existence.
Which is going to really hurt the middle class and lower class.
Well, and they keep what they love doing is they want to raise wages all over the place, but on the other end of the spectrum, keep lowering the bar of what rich is. It's like, oh, we only want to tax people that make over $1 million. And then they go, wait, no, that wasn't enough. We got to tax people that make over 750,000. Oh, wait, that's still not enough money. Let's lower it to 500,000. Oh, wait, that's still not enough. Let's lower it to 250,000. Oh, wait, that's still not enough. It's never going to be enough for them ever. Not
Yeah,
at one point ever.
They want to tax all of them, also raise the minimum wage for people, and they want all of the shit to be free.
Right. And if, like, I
It's
don't
kind of
know.
Mexico because
Hold on. I don't know all of the ins and the outs of this stuff, but it's like I just know
I am not an expert. I could be absolutely wrong about this
right.
stuff.
Like, I just know they're fooling a lot of people when they say free, because all
They're
people
not fooling people. They're feeding dumb people, dumb millennial people who want free shit without having to work for it.
Yeah.
They're like, I want my debt to just disappear overnight. I'll vote for you. They're just giving shit to young people because young people are stupid and don't want to work for anything.
I agree.
Hi.
I'm angry now,
Stick.
Lee. You see what you've done? That's why I didn't want to be.
Hey, man.
What's going on?
No, we're talking about Canada's great health care system
It's not great, and it's not
and
great
how
in Norway
you
either.
definitely won't how
Fake
you
news.
definitely won't die in a waiting room.
You'll definitely die in a waiting room.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a good thing. It's a
I
good thing
can-
you didn't get hurt or sick in Canada.
You'll die from starvation in a waiting room.
Yeah, the hospital food sucks. They have the
You
nerve
know,
to have
this
vending
is the
machines in their hospitals.
And this is the thing with the you know, not that I like getting ultra political, but it needs to be said. This is the thing with the liberals. They're on this kick like the rich should be footing the bill for everything. They're evil, blah blah blah, and no one's seeing. Okay, say hypothetically you're taking this money, okay, and you're giving it back, and you're putting it into stellar healthcare and all this bullshit, right? And you know, for one, money that they're supposed to be using to foot the bill, right, to help all these people out, money's got to come from somewhere. So the question is, where are they pulling the money from? Well, they're pulling it from places they're not telling you where the fuck they're pulling it from. So another area is suffering, so you can give everyone free shit, and then they're going to come back years later. They're like, why are the roads crumbling? Why is the infrastructure down? Because the money just doesn't appear from nowhere. You've got to take it from one place and put it into another. Well, they're not going to tell you where the fuck they're taking the money from. You're just going to notice it when your fucking buildings are falling down.
Yeah. I will tell this story to everybody, and it's my difference between living in Canada and living in Texas right now. And that's that when I was living in Canada, my mom was on welfare, me and my dad were both working, and we could barely afford rent. For $900 a month, we could barely afford. With getting food from a food bank as well, and me getting free food at lunch at high school. You know, I could barely afford that shit. And my dad was working as a fucking janitor because there were no other jobs around. We moved to Texas. My dad works for the state now. He works for the fucking state. And I have a job, and we're doing a lot better on a $1,200 rent. That's without utilities counting. And we can afford groceries every month. So fuck Canada, okay? Because we were starving in Canada, and we were so much better off here.
Which is great to hear, because the amount of bitching you hear from here, you would think we were the worst place in the world.
Yeah, I love it here. I love it here. I don't know if I ever go back to Canada, it's because I'm 90 years old and want to retire in some forest in a cottage.
Yeah, liberals tend to not tell the whole truth. They just pick the bits they think look the best and then ignore the rest.
Yeah, it goes into all of this shit that we talk about. I mean, let's be fair. We all try to avoid politics because they're a touchy subject. And look, it doesn't matter what a person votes or whatever else. We're not talking about the people. We're talking about the people in power that make the decisions. They don't tell the general public what's coming from what. You don't know where all of these things are going to be coming from until the last minute, and they keep the general public out of the loop. So it's like, you're sitting here and you're like, oh well, this shit is happening, and then 5 years later you're like, whoa, why is this suffering? Why is this suffering? It's a vicious circle, and I'm glad you brought it up, because it's good to get a perspective. Which is why we have the panel we have. It's good to get different perspectives and to know exactly from someone who's there, not from someone who's here at home speaking about it. It's good to hear it from people who actually live there telling you, hey, this isn't the rosy colored tent that you think it is.
But you could find people who live in Canada who are happy with the system, though. You could, like Jim fucking Carrey, who's talking about how great it is there. He's practically a millionaire himself in Canada, so of course the system works great for him.
Exactly. And the same people lobbying are the people who don't have anything to worry about the law that they pass.
He obviously doesn't remember living in a trailer when he was a kid. Because he did. He was really poor when he was a kid in Canada.
He was poor as fuck.
So he's an idiot, or he's just chilling.
The word of the day. It transcends these media types too. It's shilling goes across the board, people. Everybody, who shills is not necessarily just the media we talk about. It's also within the political spectrum. But now it just fucks up the things we love with the media. But they're joining along the bandwagon too. So,
And I could be wrong.
I like the disclaimer, miss.
I could be wrong. I was in one part of Canada in a small, shitty little town. So, there could be areas of Canada where everything works just fine, and that's great for them. But where I was in British Columbia, everything was pretty much shit.
Nah, Canada sucks.
I agree.
The next topic I had is because I kind of want to jump to the next thing. The Justice League Snyder cut. Once again, we're still on this.
Okay.
So PB, you brought this up, right?
I mean, like halfway, I was just like scrolling through Twitter to find things to talk about, and it was one of the things that was towards the top.
Yeah, it's apparently, according to the article, they are gaining more traction on this whole thing to they're picking up steam to get this uh, Snyder cut to come out, this Justice League cut that's supposed to fix the film. LB.
Do you not see that he's muted?
No, whenever I bring up these, no, because I'm looking at the chat. Whenever I bring up these things about DC, it's just funny his reaction after Aquaman.
I mean,
I
saw you sent the link earlier. Then I clicked it, and it wasn't like anything new. So, what exactly are you seeing that's new about this?
Oh, it was just a here's why Justice League fans are calling for an alternate release of the film.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I assume it was somebody else giving their opinion on it.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, it wasn't nothing new. I mean, I practically knew that, but
Okay, I have work in 3 hours, so I have to go and get things ready.
Oh my God! Why are you awake?
Because I have work in 3 hours.
When did you sleep?
I fell asleep at like 4 p.m. and I slept till 12.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm good. But I have work in 3 hours, so I'm gonna go get that. So.
Yeah, go make that cheddar.
I had fun being angry.
Yeah. Thank you for hiding on by.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on and rant with us anytime you want to, miss.
Okay.
You should be angry all the time because it's all the
Well,
rage.
I wanted to like get on and like hey, who wants to play like a game or something for like 2 hours? But like PB slides right in and goes, hey, we're being angry. I don't want to be angry with us. I'm like, fine. Anyway.
I just happened to see it at the top of my phone, and I was like, "Oh, she's bored. Come join us."
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Have a good night.
So yeah, oh man, before Miss left, I just saw what Generation Products put in there to Miss Sarcastic Nerd and said, "Hey, can I send you stuff as well?" So
like what stuff?
I agree with the Senate.
And welcome Generations Products to the stream, and Senate hashtag fuck Snyder.
Agreed. I 100% agree. There's nothing, not a single thing that anybody can do to any of those movies that is going to make them better. They're still going to tell the same story.
Yeah, it's like when you do an extended cut or an extended release of something, you are just adding things to the designated film. In the case of Batman versus Superman, it gave context to some scenes, but it didn't make the overall story better. It extended things that were quickly cut in the film that were kind of like, well, why the fuck did it jump from this to this? And then it just added on to that. But the story still remains the same. What the material you used for the film, it doesn't change. You would have to release a whole new movie to make that movie better.
What's hilarious? Is like I tell people that Batman versus Superman is essentially like video game cutscenes or music video, right? Because it doesn't flow, and then they disagree with me, but then talk about how the ultimate cut added more context to these scenes. It's like, yeah, because they made the movie like a music video. So what are you talking about here? Like you said, Zod, that ultimate cut, bro, it don't make the movie better. It explains a couple scenes better. It adds an F-bomb, adds some blood here and there, but like it's still trash.
Oh, that's what it does. It adds an F-bomb and some blood and makes one or two scenes slightly less confusing.
Yeah, and it extends the dream sequence
What?
where it kind of makes sense more to what was going on, and it extended
No,
the
what?
heat of the desert.
No,
You
what
remember
you
the
mean to
Batman?
no, what I was going to say is what you mean to say is it extends the misery.
Yeah, like you remember watching it and you seen the dream scenes. You're like, okay, these dream scenes make absolutely no sense
Yep.
because they just happen.
Yep.
Ultimate cut, they're just longer.
Oh my God. Yeah. Extended misery.
And people say it's a masterpiece, but I swear, people. Oh,
Generation Productions. To add your question, our topics for tonight were the earthquakes and Kevin Spacey, the accusations which we covered. We're going over the Justice League Snyder Cut. Fans are wanting it to be released. They have a crazy notion that if it is, it will somehow make the movie better, or they just want to see what Zack Snyder's original vision was, because apparently Josh Whedon came in and changed everything and it messed it up. That whole movie was a shit show to begin with. Uh, I mean, yeah, sure, you could argue that them bringing on Josh Whedon and tonally, you could very clearly see the difference between the two of them, but you know, and he changed some things in the script here and there, but I mean, it was essentially pretty much done. I mean, there wasn't even anything Josh Whedon could do to make the movie better.
bro, and to add on to that, it's like, did you see Ben Affleck in his movie? He cared not one bit about doing his movie. So you can't make that his acting better. You can't
Oh
do
yeah,
that.
Right. I mean,
you know, that pisses me off. I'm sorry to cut you off, Phoebe, but that pisses
that's
me off
okay.
because people attacked Ben Affleck, and then they saw him, and like arguably in Batman versus Superman, his acting was one of the best things about that movie. And then you jump to Justice League, and his acting got better in that film. So, I mean, he did he did the best he could, clearly, with the material he had. He never got a chance because, unlike doing it the right way, they didn't give him his own movie to develop the character to get us on board to go, oh, okay, I can get down with this Ben Affleck Batman's a little bit grittier, a little older. He ain't exactly doing shit by the book, to flesh out some stuff. The problem with these movies were they were rushed. They were rushed to contend with Marvel instead of just being created on their own and brought out like they should have brought them out. You had Man of Steel, bring out Batman, then maybe do a team up. And don't do that stupid bullshit side story where you have Doomsday for no fucking apparent reason. And I'm sorry, because I know Terrence's gonna say something, but Lex Luthor sucked in that movie. I'm sorry, bro. You got to deal with it. He sucked. That was a terrible
Right.
rendition of Lex Luthor I've
I'm
ever
tired.
seen in my life.
I'm tired of talking about DC. I feel like Terrence is gonna pop up and start talking about the comic books.
He is. He's 100% gonna say, but in the comics, right after we said not in the comics. I mean, I'm glad that not necessarily glad you brought up Marvel, but they're always going to be compared because of what DC tried to do to compete with Marvel. Imagine Thor, the original movie, is just it's at best a good movie. It's probably just an okay movie. It's no Iron Man, definitely. It's not as good as Captain America, the First Avenger. So let's get rid of Thor's movie completely and just introduce him in the Avengers. Nobody is going to fucking care about him at all, Stig, and he's supposed to represent your mythology.
Yep.
Well,
Nobody.
they're not aliens in my mythology.
Well, he wasn't
So it's okay.
but but my point is, when you introduce what is supposed to be your main characters in a team up film, people don't care about them as much. How many people out there Granted, in Infinity War, because it stuck out like a sore thumb, they were like, where's Hawkeye? How many people in phase 2 were like, yeah, we need to get this solo Hawkeye film? Nobody's clamoring for a Hawkeye film. He was
Nobody.
introduced in Thor. He was in someone else's movie. The same way that Black Widow was introduced in someone else's movie.
Yeah,
And
that's true.
And it's taken how many freaking years when Iron Man 2 came out, I think in 2010, and it's taken 8 or 9 years for them to say, okay, yeah, now since we've killed your character, spoiler alert, sorry everybody, now we'll give you a movie. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I think a Black Widow movie should have happened quite a while back.
Yeah, sometime in phase 2, if at the latest at the start of phase 3.
Yeah, she was introduced in Iron Man 2, wasn't she?
Yeah, she was like one of the main characters of that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
it
she can carry a movie alone more so than Hawkeye can, I think.
Yes, I would agree with that.
I say that because Jeremy Renner is not a lead actor. He's a supporting actor. It's been proven.
Yeah, and I mean, I love his character in the Avengers movie. I'm still not 100% on if I loved his character in Endgame, but at least up to that point, anytime, like when you watch Age of Ultron, I love his character in Age of Ultron. I thought it was great. They're like, hey, you know, I don't have a girlfriend, and then he's got an entire freaking family. I thought that was phenomenal.
I like Jeremy Renner though. He's a solid actor.
Yeah, he is.
Never seen him do a bad job.
More on the scripts, though. You know, look at the difference in the writing. I mean, you could have characters just introduced, like, you know, Spider-Man just got shoehorned into Civil War, but for me, those scenes worked for what they were going for with that Spider-Man. I mean, you can have characters just come in a single movie, but you got to have it make sense within the story, and the story's got to flow. And that's been the problem, is that, you know, you know, and you can't be introducing like lead characters together without giving context to why they would be together. You know, it was a very kind of half-assed weird thing that they did. It's like, you know, oh, I'm just going to attack you because my building went down or something. You know what I mean? It just, there needed to be more context to really flesh out the reason for, you know, the conflict.
What did you say, LB?
Oh, I said y'all are hurting my brain with the DC talk.
So you can be triggered.
Is it okay that I like both?
I mean,
Yeah,
I mean, they made good movies.
Yeah, I did like I liked Aquaman. Was that wrong? I don't know what's going on there.
You haven't been on one of our streams in a while, Stig. Aquaman is a strong contention for LB.
Now, I don't have a problem with anybody liking Aquaman, as long as you don't talk about Aquaman like it's the Dark Knight.
No.
Right. Right. There's a difference between liking a movie and then telling everybody that this movie is a good, great, awesome movie.
Yeah. Aquaman is a 5 out of 10, and it's better than The Dark Knight. That should have caused some aneurysms.
You mean the Dark Knight Returns animated movie?
Nah, I like the Nolan trilogy very much. So yeah, but my favorite in that trilogy is Batman Begins. Don't know why. I just liked it better. But I agree if someone told me that The Dark Knight is a better movie. I just like Batman Begins more.
Well, I mean, I'm looking at your picture right now, Stig, and I'm pretty sure the reason you like Batman Begins the most is because your Jedi Master was in it.
No, I just felt it was a better Batman movie, and the second one was a better Joker and Two Face movie.
Oh, okay, okay.
No, that's a pretty fair assessment.
That is totally fair. I mean, I've heard plenty of people say that they like The Dark Knight because of the Joker, not because of Batman.
Yeah, it's the Joker that sells the movie.
Yeah.
Christian Bale isn't fantastic in The Dark Knight. He's good, but it's not like a stellar performance. Heath Ledger clearly steals the show.
I wouldn't say that Christian Bale isn't fantastic in any of them, but he doesn't bring down any of them.
I would
Which, go ahead,
I
LB.
would say, I would. No, none of the performances in The Dark Knight are bad. Everybody is like in the zone in that movie. Like you can watch that movie and see everybody's on it. Heath Ledger just took it to a whole other level.
Okay.
That's the thing I'd say about that.
That is
Yeah,
fair.
I'd agree. When Heath Ledger is like one of those actors like that gave like clearly by how he did
He
that
gave his
and
life
Lord
to the role.
Dogtown and other movies, he just like takes what he does very seriously, and in Dark Knight in particular, that movie he just like elevated himself to like a level where most people did the same level of performance they would do in a film like that, but he was just on a whole different plane, like
Yeah. He
you know.
gave his life to
And
the
when you
role.
got a performance like that, it's really hard to keep up. So, anyways,
To be quite honest, before you move on, to be quite honest with you, I didn't think Tom Hardy's role as Bane wasn't that far off till they did the twist. I thought his performance was great too.
Dark Knight Rises was a really good film. I really enjoyed it, and I think because of the
Twist.
the twist brought that movie down. But the other thing was, remember when the shooting happened right
Yeah.
before? I think it was like a day after it was released or something. So that movie suffered from bad publicity because that movie, I don't think got its moment it should have had, because I felt it was a good cap to the Nolan trilogy, if you will. I
The
liked the
initial,
performances across the board, and because of that one thing, it was like, um, you know, that
yeah,
overshadowed what that movie should have gotten as far as the publicity.
yeah, definitely.
Because like after that, that's all you heard was that shooting was connected with that film, and once it got that label, it lost some momentum.
I agree. Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when I went to go see the movie, for whatever reason, even being in Wisconsin, I was watching the exit the whole time with one eye.
Yeah, I mean, when you have something like a tragedy connected to a film, it could be the greatest movie of all time. Not saying it was, but it could be, a great film, but it's going to lose momentum, and people are going to be leery because of the fact that that happened. So
Yeah, I don't want to see this fucking Snyder cut. I watched Justice League. It sucks. I don't want to see a longer, sucky movie.
yeah, I think we can all agree that that's not going to fix the problems that the movie had.
Bro,
It'll fix them the exact same way that the let's air quote this Snyder cut would fix Batman vs Superman when you get the longer cut of that. Totally fixes it.
what is Generation Production trying to do?
What do you? I wait.
He keep
Asking for Facebook and Gmail
Yeah.
just from Stig or from all of us?
I mean, I remember he was asking Mitch for information. Now he's asking Stig. What is he trying to do?
I don't know. Make a production in all of our generations, maybe.
Yeah, I don't give away my Facebook information on a live stream.
No.
Does anyone know who he is?
No. I don't know if I've ever seen him before.
Oh, I've seen him plenty of times.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he wants to give LB some ice cream.
Nah. Of course, Terrence likes Justice League.
Oh my God.
What's next, General Zod?
So our next subject that we are going to get into is going to be on the subject of Sophie Turner.
Okay, what she do?
So
Oh, didn't you cover the soccer between America and Britain, LB?
Yeah.
So didn't you see the celebration that the one soccer lady did after she scored that goal?
No.
With the drinking of tea? Oh, you didn't see that celebration? Huge mockery. And everybody, well, I say everybody, all the ridiculous, uptight British people were pissed off. They're like, oh, you shouldn't.
Alex
Yeah.
Morgan. Talk about Alex Morgan. Bro,
Yes.
don't get me started on the U.S. women's team, bro.
It's too late. That's the story. We're winding you up and we're gonna let you go.
Like, I can't stand them. Like, I really can't. Like, they are so cocky, man. Like, whenever they play, I just wish they would lose, man. Like, I'm just tired of them, man. I'm not mad at anybody that's mad at them because go ahead. I won't stop.
Do you have it pulled up here, General Zod? Like, can you click on your Twitter? Because it says, because the title of it is Sophie Turner has a message for Alex Morgan's World Cup celebration haters. That's the title of it. And I was like, oh, we definitely need General Zod to talk about this. And then when he looked at it, he fucking said to me, he goes, PB, what the hell are you doing? I hate Sophie Turner, and you're showing me something that's going to make me like her? Yes.
Yeah, so he brought this up to me, and hold on a second, because I gotta go to my messages, and my laptop is acting slow as shit.
It's because you're in the farthest corner of the house.
Yeah, I've been going through my comments all night.
Oh, off of your videos?
Yeah, man. These people are there's some real dumb people out there, man.
Oh, I know. I know.
I know it's hard to see sarcasm through text, but I think if you're watching somebody, you can sense sarcasm.
Oh God, I would hope so.
And like, I laugh a lot in my videos, so you would think I'm not like 100% serious with certain things I say, but apparently they don't notice this stuff.
Like, sarcasm is relatively easy to pick up on. Like other emotions, like if somebody's upset, sometimes they don't voice it, and if you're looking at them, you can't tell whether or not they're upset. Sarcasm is typically spoken aloud, and you can tell if somebody's being sarcastic.
Right.
Like, Justice League is the greatest movie I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Like, like in my video about Little Mermaid, I said all the producers are white, and I count that Lin Miranda, whatever his name, as a white guy, because I said, because I followed it up with he's only darker depending on the lighting, and then someone tells me I should have done more research on him. He's not white. I'm like, bro, come on, man.
Holy shit.
These people, bro, I tell you, they just dumb, man.
Oh my God. I don't know how to respond to that other than to laugh. That's freaking ridiculous. What's going on over there, General Zod?
Loading forever.
Crikey.
3 hours later.
Say, Terrence, like, there's nothing wrong with you liking a movie, but you just like every movie, bro. Like every single comic book movie, you like it. Like Justice League is trash, bro. What's there to like about Justice League? Like Steppenwolf is trash, absolute trash.
Terrible. He is a bad villain.
Like Batman / Bruce Wayne is just, he doesn't care. He's going around
About-
grabbing the team, but he don't care about doing that.
He's grabbing a team because he doesn't care.
Right. Superman comes back. Like, this is the biggest, like, what in the world with this movie? Like, Superman comes back and basically wipes the floor with Steppenwolf. So it basically says, Justice League, y'all wasted y'all time for an entire movie.
Yep. That's the worst part about the movie. Is that you built a Justice League so that you could bring Superman back to life so that you didn't need the Justice League.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
what is there to like about Justice League?
It made me sad because I was like, I've seen the Justice League. Like, I watched the entire freaking cartoon. I watched all of Justice League Unlimited. I've seen the Justice League have to work together. Even when Superman is there, he can't do it all by himself. So they have to work together to accomplish whatever the fucking goal is. But in this movie, it's just like, oh, well, we gotta fight and we gotta fight and we gotta fight, and Superman shows up and gives a cocky fucking smile, and oh, we win.
Right. It's just like, so you went around the world to grab this team, and really you didn't need to grab the team at all. You could just brought Superman back to life. I don't remember. How did they bring Superman back to life, or did he just escape his casket by himself?
Oh, they put him into the goo in the spaceship or whatever.
Yeah, that. So like
The life goo.
Yeah, he could have done that by himself.
Like, if you could have brought him back to life, why didn't frickin' Martha Kent go get some life goo?
Right.
Why didn't they send him to the life goo right away? Why did they bury him? Like, you need Superman.
You bury him
all the time.
You bury him, then like a week later, you're like, oh, I need him. Let's go unbury him.
Okay, so this is from the message that Sophie Turner sent, and it says after the at USWNT's Alex Morgan credited Turner as an inspiration for sipping tea. Morgan's post goal celebration posed in the same semi-final of the FIFA World Cup. The Game of Thrones star defended Morgan's action which some said was subject to a sexist double standard.
Okay.
And
That's bullshit because when the male soccer players fuck up, they get crucified.
Exactly, bro. This is my
Hey,
whole thing. Go ahead. Bro.
David Beckham got sent off in, I think it was in
One of the World Cups.
2002.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got crucified for half a year. So Sophie Turner is dumb as fuck.
Like it's not only Sophie Turner. Like everything surrounding the U.S. women's team, they use sexism for every single thing when you criticize them. Every single time. Like the game against Thailand, they scored 13 goals. Thailand was terrible. Like all of the analysts were saying, like, man, Thailand don't even belong in this World Cup. They're like, okay, so the best team in the world scores 13 goals, and they're celebrating after they're winning like 8-0. Everyone in the media is praising them. So, like, okay, you're praising them for celebrating scoring goals after you're defeating a team that is nowhere in your league. Then the next game, the team comes out and when they score, they're doing silent golf claps and stuff. Like, so they're trolling people that was criticizing them. Then this game, they're doing the whole teeth thing. And every time somebody says something about it, oh, we're sexist. Like, man, stop it. Like, seriously. It's not always about sexism because women can be criticized. If you do stupid stuff, you can get criticized.
No, you can't criticize the women. Why would you do that? They're precious. You wouldn't want to hurt their fragile egos.
Hey, man, by the way, you're not reading Terrence's list. That list is trash.
You don't want me to read off that list?
No, bro. This man here naming TV movies, bro. Come on, dog.
What? I mean, Catwoman, Elektra, Jonah Hex. The other ones. Wait a second. You don't like X-Men: The Last Stand?
Bro, he just went into Google and typed worst comic book movies and copied and pasted all that stuff. If he knows how.
Why don't you like X-Men: The Last Stand? And I know the answer. I know the answer because we talked about it before and I forgot it for a moment. It's because they fucked up the Dark Phoenix comic bullshit.
He doesn't like any comic book that doesn't stick to the source material.
It's got to stick to the source. Oh my god, he added some? Fuck. Superman 3, Superman 4, Superman Returns, Batman and Robin, Blade Trinity. Fuck you, I love Blade Trinity.
Hey, Generation Productions, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, and I don't drink coffee.
What? Like, what? I just read his message. What? Holy fuck. What? Wait, why would he think that you do these things?
I'm not sure.
No, maybe he's saying he doesn't do them.
You need to switch to decaf or stop smoking the wacky tobacco for a week.
All right, whatever you say, sir.
Because why?
I mean, I don't
like,
know.
Those two things they're exact opposites. It doesn't make any sense to my brain. Like if you have a bunch of coffee, like regular caffeinated coffee, you would stay up forever. But if you would smoke a bunch of dope, you would fall asleep. So if you do both of those, then you would be perfectly normal? It's very
No.
confusing.
Can you try sometime just dope, do a lot of dope and coffee, and see if you act normal?
I can certainly try at some point in the future.
That's like saying you're gonna do cocaine and then
And then some Valium.
yeah, do a bunch of cocaine and then take sleeping pills.
Whoa. I did not call you a liar, Terrence. I just asked how. I didn't call you a liar.
Oh, Generations Productions said
No,
Echo.
I know you're joking. I'm just messing with you too,
That was
General. Oh, man.
I got it now. Yeah, I read that.
Yeah,
I moved on to the Terrence thinking I called him a liar. I did not call you a liar, Terrence. I just don't understand how you don't like X-Men 3. And then I thought about it for a second. I was like, oh, yeah, source material.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get on board with this source material. Wait, oh, he said LB? Where? Oh, LB? What? No, he didn't. It said LB called him a liar. When?
I never once called him a liar. I just said, I'm not saying you're lying. I just don't think you're telling the truth all the time. That's all. I ain't called you a liar, not once.
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference. There's definitely a difference between lying and telling the truth all the time. 100%. I mean, can you play that freaking tweet that she sent out, or is it not loading up on your computer in there?
You played it earlier.
It's just not loading up, and and from what I saw, it doesn't look like she says anything. It's just her drinking tea.
No, there's 52 seconds of her. She like sent a video message in the tweet.
I think she's
Nah,
taking
man.
it.
Yeah, I'm listening to it right now.
Yeah, then it's not loading up for me.
So Generation Productions asks if so guys, what is better, a movie that sticks to a source material or a movie that doesn't? I'd say a movie that sticks to the source material. You only need to look at the Lord of the Rings for proof. The Hobbit did not stick to the source material, and it wasn't as good.
Whoa.
Well, for me, it depends. Like, I don't want a direct copy of something like The Watchmen.
Oh, it sucks.
Like, I want how Marvel does it. Like, they adapt their stories. I mean, they stick to the source material for the most part, but they change like certain details between, because I mean, they got 50, 60 years of comic book history, so they use different aspects from different comics. So yeah, adapting is how I'd like to see it.
And Marvel can get away with it too because they've had different timelines and reboots.
Right.
But The Lord of the Rings is a book.
Yeah.
A much loved book, so they should stick to the book if they want to do it well, because some writers spent years perfecting it.
Right.
Yeah. The big difference between a novel and a comic book, when you have different writers that have wrote for those characters over the generations.
Right.
Like
but you didn't have multiple writers for the Dark Phoenix saga. I'm just saying that's why I was pissed about Dark Phoenix. It's only one storyline. I have the fucking comic book in my car, PB. Big, thick compendium. I'm saying it's one fucking storyline that's been
answer the question
fucked up twice.
Question.
source material. who was gonna think it'd be different?
Yeah, I mean, now that you mentioned the books, like yeah, for books like novels, yeah, I would definitely stick to the source material. I if there needs to be changes, like for example, the Harry Potter movies, like for some of those books, if you would have made them into full movies, it would probably be like 3-4 hour movies. Now,
Right, or they'd be like 2 or 3 parts.
right. For me, I don't mind that.
Like the Deathly
For
Hallows.
me, I don't mind that, but for little kids, I don't think they would have been able to sit in the theater for 4 hours watching The Order of Phoenix. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
uh, so yeah. I'm on both sides, but I lean more towards the source material, depending on the property. Like you said, for novels and books, yeah. For comic books, if you got enough history, use different parts of it. Because I don't want another Watchmen type movie.
No, I did the watch.
Generation production. That's actually a good question. Games are different. We've seen them fucked up numerous times because the storytelling of a video game is a lot different and clearly doesn't translate well into a film. You got the movies like Silent Hill and things like that, where just something between a video game and I think it was explained best from other people I've watched covered it, where it's a game is interactive, and when you go to from a medium where you're physically interacting with the game and then trying to make it to where people are just watching people doing shit, it translates very differently.
Also, a video game has like 50 hours of gameplay and story, and
Yeah.
you have to compress it down to 2 hours.
And
That's,
Yeah,
to
and
add
that's
on to that,
including all the exposition.
yeah, and to add on to that, as far as video games, I can't say I've seen every video game movie, but from the ones I've seen, none of them actually respected the source material of the video game. Like,
oh, absolutely, LV,
like for,
100%.
like for example, Super Mario Brothers.
Bro, oh my
Like,
god.
that
Oh,
movie didn't
Jesus, those
stick to the
dinosaurs.
game
Oh,
at
fuck me.
all. Like, you could have made Super Mario Brothers right and made it into a movie if you had just followed what the game is about. Like Mortal Kombat. As far as I can remember, the first one mostly stuck to the video game lore. And I think the second one steered away from it. But
Yeah, the second one definitely took some liberties.
yeah, like,
Fighting games like that are fairly easy to adapt, though. You just need a tournament.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like, let's say, for example, what's a game with a good storyline? Knights of the Old Republic. If you make that into a movie, you can't copy it directly because it's a video game. But if you
it's long as fuck.
Yeah, if you stick to the storyline, the basic course of the storyline, and then you adapt it to a screenplay, that can work. But if they make a movie saying we calling it Knights of the Old Republic and don't use anything from that movie, then that's where you got problems with fans and stuff because you're not sticking to the source material. And I also think that's why they're having so many issues doing an Uncharted movie.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a little bit like what they did with Rogue One, though, because back in the old EU, it was the Dark Forces game that was the Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah, I remember.
yeah, and the main character's sidekick was dressed exactly as Jin Erso, but she was named Jan Ors. She was Asian.
She was
So
Asian.
they basically just they basically just whitewashed Jan Ors and melded her with the main character who's Carl Katarn and made Jin Erso. even the droid in the Rogue One movie is pretty much identical to the one in
Okay.
I
that
also want
game
to point
series.
out too.
Just yeah,
I know
just
they're not great movies, but because Stig brought up a great point, and I didn't want to lose it. In the Resident Evil series, I like those movies because even though it in no way, shape, or form really followed the source material whatsoever, I thought for that was a rare exception because it's a survival horror game where you're walking around and solving puzzles and shit. How do you translate that into a movie? You essentially got to build a whole nother story in order to make it fit and build a world. And I didn't think they did a bad job with that.
What movie?
Resident Evil.
Oh, okay.
Like I like those franchises, and they're in no way, like shape or form, a great or a good movie per se. But as far as a guilty pleasure and it being entertaining and the premise being way off, I still enjoyed them. I saw them all in the theaters. I liked them all. I got the movies at my house. So I mean, you know, it's really just a matter of when they do adapt it to the movie format. Is it enjoyable? Are you going to be able to watch them? And just kind of put that out of your mind because I thought they were good for what they were. They were a popcorn flick. She was killing zombies. There was some other shit in there, and there was a somewhat kind of storyline that followed through that I could follow all the way through the movies. So, I mean, it really depends on how they adapt it, and video games are just hard. The only video game movie that I ever saw them adapt that was somewhat close to the material was the very first Mortal Kombat film.
well,
Yeah.
Rampage stuck to the source material.
Yeah, Rampage was pretty interesting what they did there. I had fun with that movie. I
Yeah,
liked the whole fist bump thing, and The Rock.
yeah, and I guess to some extent, Prince of Persia was okay.
My problem with that was it was boring.
I kind of liked it. The main guy and the leading actress had chemistry, I thought, and Alfred Molina was great in it.
Hey, welcome, Deranged Lunatic. Thank you for stopping by our stream. We are talking about the adaptation of source material and whatnot in video game movies and how it's harder for them to adapt it, which, I mean, that's been the problem. And I remember because I watched Jeremy Johns' videos too when he reviews video game movies, and it's so funny because it echoes the same sentiments. Because I played a lot of video games and things like that, and it's just like fuck. I want to see one good. I just want to see one movie that hits it like 100%. And the only movie I ever got the pleasure of that happening in was Mortal Kombat because it knew what it was. Mortal Kombat doesn't need depth. It doesn't need layers. It's fucking Mortal Kombat. They had that fucking snazzy beat, and they fought. That was what Mortal Kombat was.
Yeah,
You,
it's
I mean,
basically blood sport, really.
yeah, yeah. Only with people who could freeze other people and shit like that. I mean, there was no there was no real finesse you had to add on to that storyline. You just had to have a killer beat and people fighting. But other than that, any other adaptation they've tried to do has never been good because the people who write the scripts and shit are trying to go like really deep with it and build some kind of thing, and then like they just do their own shit. And I think that's why video game will always have a hard time being adapted. And it's like you said, Stig, Rampage was enjoyable because it didn't try to go outside of what it was. They knew exactly what they had.
Yeah,
Giant monsters.
they had very little to go with too, though. It's just three monsters wrecking shit. That's the whole.
Exactly. And what did they do? They had three monsters wrecking shit. They kind of had some kind of story to make it like watchable. Like, hey, these scientists had this chemical and it changed them. I was like, okay, cool. There's your setup, and then the monsters fight. That's all you need to make it work.
Yeah.
What do you think, LB?
I think I already answered this.
I know you gave Mario Brothers. We all know what kind of a train wreck that was. No one knew what the fuck was going on in that movie. But I mean, in your mind, would you say that they have done
Or what? Good job, bad job, what?
they have done some movies that have done a decent enough job?
I mean, I don't really watch many of the video game movies because I don't be interested in it from the trailers. Because they don't look good, and a lot of them stray away from what the actual video game are, like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh God! Oh,
Um,
just like another classic down the drain.
I know many people hate this movie, but I enjoyed the Hitman movie, the first one.
Oh yeah, I did too.
I enjoyed it for what it was, but like
Wait, you liked what movie? I didn't
the
hear
first
that.
Hitman movie.
With the barcode on the back of the head?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the fact. First of all, I like Timothy. He's my boy right there. I thought he was a pretty good choice for the hitman. He was emotionalist and walked around like that's how the character was, and I liked how they kind of had a story that was intriguing, especially when you got to the end and he's explaining how the whole shit went down to the cop. I thought there was like a little things that made it kind of an intelligent type of movie.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Who messaged me? Trust the fungus among us. Okay. Generation Productions is high.
Holy fuck. I mean, I want to see as many video game movies as possible, I guess, as long as they're done well. But I mean, in general, don't you want every movie in every genre to be done well? I don't want to see a bad movie.
Yeah, I agree. The issue is Hollywood. They have too many cooks in the kitchen, and they all have their own agendas. And
You need to make a Piccolo Mouse movie.
I gotta say, and I endorse this director because I've seen him do several good movies. And Paul W. Anderson, he did the Resident Evil films, and most people don't know before he did that or in between that he also did the one of my favorite like sci-fi horror, I guess you call it, Event Horizon.
Yeah, that one was good.
Yeah, I love that movie, and he did that. So that's why I kind of like the vision he had for the Resident Evil franchise. And he also does a show on YouTube called Origin, I believe, which is in the kind of vein of Event Horizon, kind of sci-fi horror kind of deal. So I mean, if you could get someone like that who's can even take the source material, and even if he puts a different spin on it, kind of try to keep with the source material, but he's got good ideas, then that's one thing. The problem is they, like with the Tomb Raiders, for instance, I like the ones with Angelina Jolie, mainly because of Angelina Jolie, but they weren't that bad. I mean, when I thought Laura Croft and they said Angelina Jolie, I said, yep. And then I saw the outfit and I was like, yep, that's a 10 out of 10 outfit. But I mean, and then you had the new one, which I didn't think was that bad, but it was following the new games. And it's like, the acting from her was not very good. And that, like LB was saying, too many cooks in the kitchen. So this little person is like, well, there was that whole thing. Well, they need to make the Tomb Raider more realistic, and her having it being top heavy was just not real. And how could she do all this stuff? And I'm like,
wait, whoa. What do you mean not real? There are plenty of women out there that are top heavy.
they were saying for what she had to do traversing through the jungle and shit, it was unrealistic and just sexualizing, the same thing.
No, I watched.
what's funny
I
about
played
that?
the game.
You know what's funny about that? They say that, but they have no problem with 5 foot tall women beating up 6'5", 250 men in movies and TV shows.
That's
Yep.
right.
Well, guys, I'm gonna have to go to bed. I'm getting dead
holy
tired.
fuck.
Yeah.
How long have you been up, man?
I don't know.
Like it's freaking it's like 10 a.m. over there.
Yeah, 10:40.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I lost track of time.
I guess.
Which, by the way, Stig, I just wanted to say you did outstanding with your improv, sir.
Oh, the thing with the dog?
Yeah, I was laughing my ass off, but I was like muted. I was like, when you were explaining about the window not being closed.
Yeah, it was like it was a wind, and it was woo. Yeah, and the dog shot himself to death.
Yeah, it was like, dude, that's fucking.
I don't know. I just pretended what I was saying was what happened. Like the guy was telling the truth. So yeah, I think Mary mentioned something about clipping that one, so it should be maybe available.
No, I was just talking about that, and I was like, when is she gonna start clipping at least one? Because she used to clip one a week.
Yeah, people have been asking me all week about the Kenobi and Luke thing from last week.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they ask me if I can clip it or whatever. I was like, no, that's Mary's thing.
You're like, yeah, just become a patron.
Yeah, just pay for it.
Exactly.
Pay Mary money. And you can see it.
Exactly.
You can see Kenobi chastise Luke Skywalker about his masturbation problem. That's the level I'm on. Bottom of the barrel weirdo shit.
Oh, we love it, Sig. It's good to have you back on the channel, man. Feels like you haven't been on here in a while, so I'm glad to have you on.
Yeah, I go back and forth here and there, and sometimes it depends on the topic too. If I see there's a topic where I can't contribute much, so
Well, I feel like you could have contributed yesterday. We were talking about gay Spider-Man.
No, I don't want to talk about that.
Apparently, no one else. As soon as we got on the topic, we went from like 12 people to like 3.
I don't know. I'm not that big of a superhero fan, really. I'm kind of in the middle. I think they're okay entertainment, and some of them are really good, but there's so many now. I think I've had my fill of them.
Intriguing.
It's like 5 or 6 a year or something. It's,
yeah,
quite a lot. But they have to make a Moon Knight movie soon.
Yeah, I know you've been lobbying for that for a while now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's been nice having you on, Stig, and
Thank you.
hopefully I could do another shenanigans.
Yeah, I'm sure Mary's gonna want to have you back on. You did well.
I know. I was just like shocked because I was like thinking about it, and it's kind of funny when we did that sketch. I was like, oh, I can run with this because this reminds me of a relationship I had. So I just played off what really happened.
Yeah, I just say whatever pops into my head. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So
Yeah,
it's pretty,
it's a lot of hit and miss, but I had fun being on there with you, man, and you did a great job. And anytime you're always welcome here on the channel.
well. Thank you. I I like it here, so I'm gonna pop on in the future too, for sure. So
Uh, PB
it's
missed you. He won't tell you, but he was like devastated for weeks.
oh
He's like, where the fuck is Stig at? I have no puns here. I am
you know,
getting
I think I was like waking up during the middle of your streams because I was sleeping at normal hours for a while. So I think I was waking up, and you guys had been streaming for an hour or two.
That sounds about right.
Yeah, and I popped into the hangout thing afterwards instead.
Ah,
yeah, man. We missed those quality puns though.
Yeah, well, I did some puns today, so you know stop complaining. I did earthquake puns, man.
They were great ones. They really shook us up.
Yeah, trembling. Anyway, have a good stream, gentlemen, and thank you for having me on. And
No problem, Stig.
have a great weekend.
You
you
too.
too.
So yeah, I think guys, we've hit the topics. And maybe
I,
start.
I, I gotta read a super chat from Terrence. I told him that I would. He
Go ahead.
says, did you know at the beginning of the first Hitman film, they used footage from Dark Angel, the James Cameron series, using the kids with a barcode on their necks?
Hold on, they didn't use you in that.
Actually, that is
What'd you
that,
say,
that, that,
LB?
that is
I thought they used Terrence in Hitman.
Oh, shit. God, maybe.
oh generation products. You wanna get us into that again?
Bro,
Oh,
what is he talking
oh, thank
about, man?
you, Deranged Lunatic, for that. Yeah, Deranged Product, we talked about Gay Spider-Man, and yeah.
Tell him you can go to Zod's channel. It was in yesterday's live stream. Had a whole segment
Yeah,
on it.
where it says it's the 4th of July spectacular. The rest of the title, what, turn sideways, phone, you piece of fucking shit. God damn it.
The title was Hot Dogs, Gay Spider-Man,
That was
and
it.
then
No, that's it. That's it. It
yeah.
says Late Night Talk with Zod and PB, the 4th of July special, hot dogs and gay Spider-Man. I don't know why I put a comma after hot dogs because it just says and gay Spider-Man. Whoops.
But yeah, excuse some of it because I had been drinking a little bit in celebration of um 4th of July, and I said Happy New Year's, so that's funny.
He certainly did.
I was like, hey, by the way, guys, I meant to say Happy 4th of July, but it came out Happy New Year, so I just ran with that. And I think on New Year's I'm gonna say Happy 4th of July. This will be consistent across the board.
And then we'll have to send people all the way back to that same 4th of July stream for them to get this one joke.
Hey, it's about the connection, just like a Marvel movie. You got to watch all 8 films for it to connect.
Yeah, we'll make this easy right here. Well, I just hit a couple buttons on my phone right here. Take it off the screen again, and we'll just put a link right here in the chat, and then you can just click on this link, And that link right there will take you to the live stream from yesterday.
Yeah, that anyone who wants to check that out can check it out. It was one of my shortest streams, so it was pretty fun. But yeah, Generations, thank you, man. You know, Deranged Lunatic, I'm glad to have you in too. Um, you know, I enjoy doing this stuff, but I really enjoy these streams on our late nights, you know, and anyone who's new who's coming here, this is what we do. We just bring up some topics and talk about them with you guys or amongst the panel. And, you know, I enjoy having all you guys on here. So thank you, everybody.
You're welcome. What are you fishing for right now, Zod?
Nothing, man. I'm just thanking the people watching, you know, appreciating the fans.
Oh, see, you went fishing so hard you made LB leave. Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrible. Unbelievable. Damn it. And, okay, yeah. So, anybody, look, we're gaining people. We're gaining people watching. Oh, he came back. Thank God. The internet just took a shit, didn't it?
No, I was just switching to my own cell phone.
Oh, that's fair.
And Terrence, just to let you know, we appreciate you too here.
No, we don't.
God damn it.
LB, man, you are on fire tonight. Did you eat a good brand of ice cream today?
Actually, didn't have any ice cream today.
Pie? Did you have some of that
What?
apple pie?
I haven't had any snack, unfortunately. No snack.
What are we looking at? Are we getting a tour of your house? You hit the camera button for a second.
Oh, yeah, ain't no talk going on here.
I was gonna say. We don't need a tour. I've gotten a tour of too many people's houses.
Yeah, ain't nothing cool over there.
Yeah, you know, I've gotten a tour of people's houses too. Mwahaha.
Oh God. I didn't show you the dungeon part of the house yet, Zod. That's why I keep all of the kryptonite.
Oh gosh. Terrence put LB doesn't like me. I thought we were friends. Damn.
Oh, I can't believe what.
Sometimes in life.
I was a little disappointed that he put damn instead of bruh. That's what I was looking for.
Oh, but yeah, I'm gonna start to wind things down because you know, there's a full day tomorrow.
Apparently.
Yeah.
That's what my wife told me. Because I'm
Yeah.
not a lonely man.
Apparently, I'm lumped in with you now, so thanks, PB.
Sure.
Shit. But anyways, I'm just gonna go down the line, you know, do our plugs, and yeah, start to wrap things up here on the channel. But let's start
the fandom
with
zone. It's the fucking fandom zone. I will throw something at you.
if you were, that's me being hit in the fandom zone by my commander. He abuses me. Someone start a scandal. Anyways, let's start with the loneliest man on the panel. Go ahead and tell the good, fine folks who you are and where to find you.
I'm LB. I talk to a camera by myself. You can find me on the Lonely Banter, where I call out black people all the time, and they call me a coon. That's okay.
Oh,
Oh my god. Oh, my commander and co-host, the curator of the Fandom Zone. Go ahead and tell them who you are.
oh, I am PB. You can find me on Pop Culture PB on YouTube and on Twitter. People call me a bigoted Jedi, but they don't have any terrible names like that for me, LB. It's at least not yet. I don't have a patriotic flag as my banner though. I just have a multicolored lightsaber.
That's good enough.
So maybe I'll have that hate coming my way because I've turned into some kind of ginger bearded patriot. But subscribe to Mad Squirrel.
Yeah, he deserves it.
And as always, this has been the General of the Fandom Zone. Thank you everybody for coming for our late night chats. We have these pretty much every night at the wee hours. You can join us here from midnight or 12:30, pushing 1, depending if the technology lets me. Press the freaking broadcast button. Then I'll be here on time. But other than that, that's pretty much our schedule. We have a lot of other cool stuff coming from the Fandom Zone here. I'm going to do some reviews and bring back my talks, but they will be Phantom talks, and I will be having some guests on here. So I'm talking to a couple of people, and those names will be coming to you guys via Twitter. If you don't have one, get one.
Oh man,
That way you can see all my great
throwing
plugs.
shots at Terrence.
Anyways. Or I can DM you. Come on here. Instead of like not being able to reach you. Anyways,
All the time.
much love. Much love to everyone who came. Thank you all of the new people who came. And as always, remember the golden rule here in the Fandom Zone. Kneel before Zod.
Never.
Absolutely not.
Good
You
night.
suck.